RRQ, especially in the drafting phase. They have good potential, but they have to be careful about the counter picks, right? About the surprise that Kescute just likes saving for the last few segments, the last few picks in the drafting phase.
Let's see the drafting phase will begin for these two teams already. Two assassins ban from both sides of the court. It's Fanny and Link. A race. Still, Chip, I don't think we've seen this hero at all in the drafting phase left open.
We haven't seen Chip that much make an appearance, but for you guys at home, of course, an announcement to make. Vivius is back on the drafting phase, so that is one viability that which the teams can play around, and we have seen Vivius being that extra strong laner after the revamp, and maybe, just maybe, a counter towards the high loss if any of these teams wants to play that high loss, but that Ruby, of course, the flexibility taken out, and Hayabusa. Because Ryota has been playing this Hayabusa and he has been very apt in that, you know, assassin jungle role.
Well, the Phobius is definitely a hero with a lot of potential. Rebellion will go for the Zask. Now the Phobius can't really chase as well as he used to be able to, but when it comes to the sustain and the utility and the damage, more importantly, there's a lot in the hands of that Phobius. So if RRQ wants a more aggressive answer, it won't be a solution to chase down big assassins, but when you need a frontliner, that could be an option they can explore right here. Against the Zask, no. Will there be a mid laner? No. The Edith comes out first. One more pick here for RRQ.
Yep. And that Ruby from Edok is already erased as well from Coach Far. In week number 1, I believe he played 2 Ruby games against EBOS, and gotta say, there's been a lot of buzzes, there's a lot of talks in the community that Edok, you can get that Ruby, it's gonna be trouble for RRQ. Meanwhile though, when the Ruby's gone, you can play those kind of heroes that there's not really a lot of range in Moskov and Julian. A lot more damage from Rebellion here. No frontliners picked at all from Coach Far.
Not just yet. They do have a Zask right here that can be survivable, but RRQ, they bring out the signature Aurora. Which is it? Which is it now? Is it going to be a mid Aurora? Is it going to be flexed around? With Kescute, you don't really know.
Yeah, 3 of them are flex picks.
Exactly.
Realize. Roger, you can go jungler or gold laner, whether you want to play a bit more aggressive on the jungling area or just have that safety in that gold lane. Meanwhile, Edith and also Aurora, a lot of CCs being brought out and also a lot of damage also. Edith already played it against Pikachu Alpha, and it's the only game that they've won against the robots. So really, a whole lot of option here. And at 2-0 Far, we'll be able to rid this one because there's just too much flexibility.
Yeah, I feel like flexibility has been the name of the game for Kescute for most of the times, but this time around, this Aurora can be very, very interesting because again, we have seen RRQ play that flex time and time again, whether the Aurora goes to that roam or that mid, and then the Edith can also go XP, go roam. So there's a lot of puzzles now for RRQ to just build up and stick into it. For Rebellion, it's going to be a hard task for them to figure out what, you know, who goes where, which goes where. Like, it's gonna be very hard for Rebellion to sniff RRQ's intentions.
And they're already spending a ban onto the Harris. They're not convinced that Roger is going to make it to the gold lane. And they're trying to make sure that Matt, despite that being a problem, they want to make sure that he gets the best laning phase possible, especially against Skylar. The last thing they want is to allow Skylar to have a great laning phase and play aggressive. But for RRQ, if they have banned away the Tigreal, that usually means that either they're going for a big teamfight composition or they want to go for an assassin, right? The Typhoon can be such a big nuisance if you're playing an assassin that can't go for the Purify. So that could be something that Rebellion can kind of read out, can maybe try to ban away because they really have a solid jungler right here.
A lot of emphasis on the frontliners from Kescute after the 2 assassins, man. In the first phase, it's going to be Arlit from Rebellion Esports. So less options here from Tyron, but by no means Kescute has less option because right now, what are they going to do in the first phase? They're going to try to hide their last card in the second pick. And we got a stat here, or a fact, in MPL Indonesia Season 13, Claude was the most banned hero by all teams against RRQ. I wonder why. With a total of 33 bans out of 45 RRQ games, a mind-boggling 73% ban rate against RRQ.
Yeah, we have the notions most of the times that, you know, Skylar has been that player with the Claude. Going up against Kabuki, but it's gonna be a Franco. So this kind of locks the place for Aurora to go to that mid lane. So most likely that Franco will go in the hands of Edok, or it's guaranteed almost. So they have that aggressive pick-off tool that they want. The Franco, the Aurora, the Edith can rotate alongside that Franco as well to play off that pick-off style role that RRQ wants to play, especially against the Zask, the Moskov, the Julian. Now the question is, does Rebellion have enough layering to cover to that pick-off? They do. They have the Terizla and the Glue.
Ooh, hang on a minute.
Terizla Rome.
That's coming out really, really early on. And we've seen that the Glue, generally, if you want to go up against the Glue, you go for heroes that can heal up. But now, without the Ruby and the Terizla available, it's going to be a Natan.
Oh.
What for the side of RRQ? They have a great setup right here, man. They have good frontline with the Edith. They can go for pick-offs with the Franco. And on the off chance that Rebellion are trying to counter-engage onto the Franco, that's where the Frigid Glacier comes in and just zones everyone away. This is a very difficult front-to-back composition that Rebellion are going to be trying to crack open.
So a lot of pressure once again on the rookie. Just like the time when he picked that Ruby 2 times against EVOS Glory. This time around, the hooks have to land. It was the perfect target, but you have that 2 frontliners that's standing strong in front of you. It is quite risky for RRQ to pull this one off. Skylar on the ton. Let's see though. If I ask the question, realize, can he play that safety gold lane against these assassins, these damagers of Rebellion Esports? Week number 2 will be open, but Kings of Kings taking on a rodeo against the Blue Bulls. And Franco making an appearance with MPL skin. Here we go. Rex Regum Kaon versus Rebellion Esports.
Here we go. The battle of the Bulls and the Kingdom as they look to stage a rebellion. Now this time around we have seen that landing, but cut short to the junglers, trying to clear out their camps. And this time around the Franco will play a pivotal role in trying to pick off the players of Rebellion Esports, Arachi.
Off the bat, Suzuki seems to be clearing a lot faster, technically. It's Skylar, though, with the weakness finder. No Purify, by the way, so for Rebellion, there are a lot of ways to really engage right here. Penalty zone, the stun coming in from the Zask and the Dominator's Descent, as well as the Slam Slam Pass, or even the Empower Chain. There's so many ways that RRQ have to try and zone out from. Look at that hook, though.
Whoa! Flicker hook connects. Ryota stuck in a very, very hard position, but he has the swords to run away. And Rebellion Esports, they still are able to survive.
Didn't really convert to any kill, but that is definitely a statement from Edok. He's able to land those hooks. They're gonna be able to be more aggressive by this time, but the emblem, Sarashi, anything going on here?
Tenacities on 3 members for the side of Rebellion, and 2 Brave Smites. They are looking all in for some kind of sustain to be able to outlast RRQ in the front to back. But against an Edith, right, it's not as simple as that. There's a chance that they're gonna survive, but Dyron can end up doing a lot more damage with a Primal Wrath if the fight really goes the distance. And later on, Matt is gonna find it a lot more difficult to do damage compared to Skylar on the Natan due to that range difference. Look at Cars though, kind of go all in onto Dyron.
Oh, so close. The slam, but it's all still good for Dyron because he has the tank aggressiveness as well as Rinse just constantly rotating to supplement him. So far, all still good for RRQ. Rebellion Esports yet to answer.
This might be the moment where Rebellion Esports has the advantage. They have a lot of good setups here and also a lot of survivability compared to RRQ. They really have to rely on the hooks. The first neutral objective battle between these 2 junglers, Sutsujin versus Ryota. Edok missing in the first hook.
There's a chance that RRQ might be able to force Rebellion into making the first move right here because they have the engage advantage.
Oh, Chatter goes on with the onwards, and there you go. ODCS evaporates in the hands of Sutsujin, first blood, and they can re-aggress to the turtle. However, that Iron Hook doesn't really connect towards Cars. They will try to take this turtle for themselves. The Frigid Glacier comes to Frozen into 1, and the spear comes in as well for Dyron to just run away. No TP coming in from the gold laner, but Edok will hold Ryota in place with that ultimate, but they will go forward. The penalty zone connects and they will try to run away, but Cars gets Edok in the process. Sutsujin having to run away rampantly from the roars of the Bulls. The Rebellions, they fight back.
They fight back there, but they're down about 1k gold lead just now, so still a W for RRQ in the gold department. But Urashi, they kind of overstayed their welcome there.
They kind of went in aggressively, knowing that there's a combo in the hands of Rebellion. I feel like that's a bit too confident from them. Looking at the talent predictions though right here, Civil War by our new application GoPay. The Indonesians going for Rebellion and us sticking with RRQ. That's great news for me, but look at Edok zoned away by Audi. On that Rome Terizla, by the way, a lot squishier than when Veloisi was playing it.
ODCS could be so over-aggressive. Doc misses the hook, and the free picture connects. Ryoda wants to jump back, but ODCS with penalty zone. Ryoda does get Enoch in that process. Sutsujin having to step back. The Dominator's Descent almost catching him in place, but they want to re-aggress with the chains here. There they go, but Sutsujin still able to survive with a sliver of HP, and Skylar just hides in the bush, unaware of Matt just being there to try to siege down the turret.
Already adapt towards RRQ's lineup and also composition. They're losing in gold plate in the top lane. It feels like a lot of times if Edok didn't land the hook, they really have no way to approach the team fight.
And right now you can see that ODCS is just taking away so much attention from RRQ. They're spending a lot of time to try and secure the kill onto a Rome Terizla. With the body of Smith, it's going to be taking a lot more time than RRQ is used to. But look at this advantage here. They've pushed out the lane in the bottom side, and they're going to rotate to the top side and maybe try and find once more some kind of pickoff right here.
Yep. And Edok so far. Oh, Dyron.
Oh, with their chatter.
Oh. Oh,
no one saw that.
What? Okay.
Oh, he's gonna be memed by the kingdom after this, man. This is food for the kingdom.
Oh, doesn't connect, but the grab trap there will try to rock ODCS and place the chains as well, trying to pop the Domination Descent. It's Waylo gets Dyron, but they enter the fight with Skylar getting Ryota. Turtle still left unattended to Cars. We'll move back with Sutsujin just going with the Lycan Pound. Sutsujin, double kill, and is able to roar back. Rebellion get caught in their own flesh by Sutsujin, again getting the turtle in place as well.
Rip and tear gaming from Sutsujin, but you can see that penalty zone is erased before the team fight. Really holds a lot of value for RRQ, and right now they're converting in all places. They got the Pearl Puff, they got the top lane turret, they got everything, Arashi.
It was a trade from Rebellion in the bottom side of the map, but overall though, it's a great win for RRQ. Picking up the kills, the neutral objectives, and they're still maintaining tempo right here. There's no reason for them to do anything too differently. All they have to do is make sure they get the right engage, and they keep Rin safe. I feel like the big problem right here is the fact that for Rebellion, they're just confused on who to target, because if they go for Rins, he has that second chance at life due to the passive. If they don't deal with Skylar though, even early on right here, he's really doing a decent amount of damage with the Starlium and the Feather of Heaven. That true damage really stacks up after a while.
Interesting itemization here from Skylar. Actually chooses to go for a Magic Shoes for a Natan. And now things are looking a bit more quiet in the mid game. RRQ holds 2.3k gold lead, and look at the Bushes, Arashi. They're really owning it with Tyron and also Edok being the frontliner, being the one to check the vicinity for RRQ.
Ooh, the block with the Nightmare spawn right there. Look at Matt.
Oh,
woo!
Almost.
That's the damage, man. Skylar, with the cooldown boots, he can spam those spells out, and that's a lot of true damage before you can even realize. With that moment right there, Rebellion will have to play a lot more careful, and they're definitely calling out, Matt, watch out, bro. Blink and you'll be gone.
This gets scary as well for Rebellion, because Skylar, you would always expect Natan to be that late game monster to just bank on him as the game progresses, but now he progresses pretty well with his items already down with 2 kills as well. You know, the Starlium's Kite and that Feather as well, so yeah, for Rebellion Esports, they have to address this Natan sooner or later. Oh, a good hook towards the players of Rebellion Esports, but there goes the penalty zone, not enough to try to free away the players of RRQ. Sutsujin having to find that front line with the Lycan Pound. The spear misses from Matt, and he has to progress towards the top lane, but this time around wins. There you go, the jeez! Edok! The hook lands downtown, and Sutsujin will finish off the flesh and the feast by the Kingdoms.
Oh my goodness, the Fortress is looking strong, Arashi! A lot of times, Edok just, that would have brought the house down with RQ fans in MPL Arena, and they're rolling right now, man.
It is fishing season in the Land of Dawn. And look at Audi, powers to do anything. RRQ with the hooks, with the follow-up. We talked about this combo, the Iron Hook suppression into the Frigid Glacier, and Rebellion fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Losing 2 turrets in the process. RRQ, they're trying to take over the map.
Ooh. We might be looking at a event incarnate here in MPL Indonesia. Minus the misplays, of course. But yeah, Edok, beautiful debut on this hero. And now RRQ, 5K though, in about 8 minutes. Things are not looking very good for Rebellion. And Matt, so far, there's literally 0 conversion after 3 kills in week number 1 out of 3 games.
Yeah, the Spears doesn't even land, so he can't really join the fight. It becomes a 4v5, and Skylar has the Holy Crystal ready, up and running. And the fact that RRQ doesn't stop to try to look for picks is what kind of amazes me, because they keep on landing the engages. And this could be very scary. There you go again with Edok landing the hook. And they just locked out Cars in place. Looking for Odyssey. Next on the meat grinder and the spear. Again and again just misses. It doesn't connect for Matt. And this time Sway low. Next on the chopping block. Matt has to concede the losses of his teammates.
They're eating the glue like a cupcake, like the skin. There's really no answer at all for this composition. As long as Edok lands the hook, it is GG for Rebellion so far. Yota losing that mid lane turret. Edok finally builds the dominant ice.
He wasn't having any kind of defensive prowess right there. It's all about utility. 7k gold, mid tower down. They're making a play for the Lord here, RRQ. But Rebellion, they really seem to be desperately trying to find this one play, the big engage into the Spear of Destruction to get into the back line. But look at Skylar, just melting down the Lord.
They get the Lord, clouded and convert this, and Rebellion Esports can't even answer. Edok still trying to fish for something. Cars can't even frontline. This front to back is not working for Rebellion Esports.
At this point, there's really no answer unless you want, like, waiting for RRQ's mistake, because the frontliners are not frontlining at all. Even when Odyssey S uses the penalty zone and gets 5 members in the skirmish in the mid lane, it really didn't matter because RRQ, they're already up against Rebellion 9k gold lead.
This could be the final siege for RRQ to end this game right here, right now. But of course, you have so much wave clear with Matt just trying to spear down the minions, the lords, all gone. So RRQ, they still have to halt their progresses towards the base of Rebellion. But Skylar wants to be! My goodness me, the Crown Prince says sit down as he knights down Sway low. And this could open up an opening for RRQ to march into the crystal. Rebellion Esports, they have to hold their dear life as they siege up top, down bottom as well. And RRQ might look for the end. Skylar again popping the entropy aggressively.
Oh my God.
So low as he has to pop the split, and he will try to run away.
Oh, talk about knowing your limits. Skylar answering your question, realize, can he play in this assassin meta? You have to be very careful, but no. The answer is you jump straight up to the front line and deal damage yourself. 1v5.
Woo! Oh boy, what is that damage, my guy, from RRQ right now? You blink and you literally miss it. Sway low, deleted. We're concerned about Skylar matching up against assassins, but he is the assassin now. He is the danger. As Rita picks up the Divine Glaive right here, Rebellion, they certainly have damage, but look at RRQ. They're just so calculated. They're opening every single bush and they are making sure that Rebellion have no way to get out. And they're just playing it. They're not forcing any crazy fights. They're waiting for the next Lord. They have no need to do anything too crazy because they are the ones in control.
Really, there's no zero pick-off threat from Rebellion. Like, how do you even get someone in this phase? You're just getting caged by the kingdom at this point. Look at the items, Harashi. Look at the gold leads from each of every member. At the very least, it's 1.2k in mid lane.
I mean, even in the roaming position, more gold difference compared to the mid laner. What is going on, man? The 3-item power spike and the rose gold meteor is available for Matt, so he has some kind of survivability, but considering how far ahead Skylar is, I don't think that's gonna make a difference, man. That rose gold is gonna get popped with one basic attack, and this is the problem here. When both teams are just waiting around, Rebellion are just waiting for that big moment, that big iron hook or for Rin to just poke them down. Whereas for RRQ, they have no need to risk anything. They know that if Rebellion wants to try and get a pick off, or something, they're gonna be forced to go and commit all in with one of their frontliners, the Blue or the Terizla. Look at Edok tries to zone away. The Lord is taken though.
Oh, Rebellion Esports looking to stage that concealed play. And now, of course, they lose that Lord with such ease. And RRQ, it feels like they're not breaking a single sweat.
Really though, after that 3 kills, that Rebellion gets, like, there's really 0 at all in the mid to late game. They're really banking on the fact that RRQ might make a mistake, but when you're playing from so far away, you're playing behind the arc with Edok just hooking everyone all over the place. The safety net is huge for RRQ. Like, you can make any kind of error and there's still gonna be the CCs coming in, the Glaciers from Rents, and now RRQ, Edok though.
Flicker forward with the Earth Shatter, and they try to just conceal their plays here inside with the Crystal. And now the grab coming in from Cards, but the Crystal is running low, and ODCS, it's way low. Just trying to be the lead, and ODCS with the Winter Crown won't be able to hold on for any longer as Rinse just tries to rinse and repeat for Ryota and RRQ. Spotless, flawless, perfect first game.
Absolute dominance from the Kingdom. Feels like the Bulls is hunted all over the place. No doubt at all from RRQ, and they ran through the Bulls with ease.
Man, RRQ, the draft's execution. We're just seeing everything just fall into place right here. And Rebellion, they were banking on winning a full-on 5v5. And even then, it wasn't allowed to them at all. And a 10,000 gold lead, RRQ just assert their dominance and tell the Rebellion that those days are over.
The days of upset are over. For the Kingdom this time around, asserting their dominance so good in the fights, in the pickoffs. In every single department, it feels like RRQ are always on the same page. Edok, you haven't really seen him trying to make a play by himself, always supplemented by either Dyran aggressively making a play, either Rinse always going to try to get that rotations going on. So Rebellion Esports, we weren't even seeing Matt showcasing his damage. He wasn't existent in most of the team fights.
There's just so much AoE available, man. The Earth Shatter, the Freeze coming in from the Aurora, even the Frigid Glacier. You saw that they were trying to play around a single crowd control tool, and even in the end, they were super aware of the Iron Hook. But that's exactly when Dyran sees the opportunity and flickers in with the Earth Shatter, right? Multiple engaged tools is what allows you to do this, to catch your opponents completely off guard.
Even in the last skirmish before the game ends, like, the glue gets Skylar. It's pretty much a 4v4 without the biggest threat in the line of them playing. And they were able to somehow end the game because they were just up too much gold at that point. And Edok's initiation is the key to RRQ's game plan execution. Just the way they draft, we had a lot of questions, but they answered in the most convicting way.
Yeah, that Franco pick took us by surprise, and Edok was still able to utilize it in the most efficient way. It kind of gives me slivers of dreams in that Franco. So
my dreams, man. We have one of the best Franco of all time in Vin.
That's true, but like
RRQ.
I mean, last season,
Vin incarnate.
Yeah, Audi as well.
Audi.
Yeah, so basic. Yeah, still, it kind of gave me shades of how a Franco player would play, but this time Edok, imagine initiating a fight just with a singular hook. It feels like Rebellion also fell into that trap. They had to, rally behind the victim of that hook and try to counter-play, counter-engage. But RRQ was always quick to the trigger as well.
I think there's a bit of a mixed intent here from Rebellion. They have strong, tanky frontliners, but they don't really have the best of a DPS in the backline. I mean, Swaylo and Matt, yes, they can dish out damage constantly, but at what cost? And even here, you see that when one person gets caught out, there is no answer from Rebellion at all. And I don't know about the spears. I don't know if Matt is just missing these spears, or if RRQ are just so aware of it, they kind of make space. But man, when you least expect it, I think Edok does a great job of engaging when you think he's done, right? When you're expecting him to engage, he kind of takes it easy. But when you think, okay, they got a turtle, we're backing away, it's good, right? No, it's time for one more hook, man, one more.
I think we've already seen a lot of times, even not just in this game, in MPL Indonesia Season 14, where a team is relying too much on that Moscow presence in that far lane. So they really rely on the spears to land, but
that requires an ultimate. And whenever your main engage tool is an ultimate, you're always forced to kind of play on a slower tempo, especially against a player like Edok. Is that the main issue there that allowed the RRQ to really win out in the early game tempo?
But this is the first fix that Rebellion Esports has to make here.
Oh,
already a change in the first ban phase. And Cascade still sticking on that Ling Hayabusa chip. Meanwhile, Coach Far, that Roger is gone, that flexibility from Skylar and Sutsujin is erased off the board. But once again, ooh, this is... I don't know about this, Arashi. This is just rinse and repeat. Zas again in the first pick.
I mean, if you want to pick the Zask, you would basically want to ban out the Aurora because, you know, Arashi mentioned the fact that, you know, the Frosty Breeze and all the glaciers can really cancel out the nightmarish spawns coming in from Zask. So what do you think about this, Arashi? Is this going to be wise for Rebellion Esports?
I feel like it's weird that they're prioritizing the mid lane so much. I know that right now Zask and Sushin are just so good, but Suelo has always been this flexible hero that brings out some of these weirder picks. Even the Terizla mid, I believe, back then. To see him just being on the Zask again and again definitely is an odd sight to see. But now RRQ, they go for the Edith. Earlier it was the Roger, I believe. They go straight for that Aurora, man. Cascade really likes this Aurora. And funny enough, I don't know if any team can really treat this Aurora like a flex pick, except for RRQ right now.
And so far, I believe RRQ on Aurora still has 100% win rate, right? MPL Indonesia Season 14?
I believe they have losses against Bigachon, I believe. Yeah, but it's still pretty high up there, man. Like it's in the 80%.
They won a game against them.
For sure, yes.
With the Aurora pick.
With the Aurora
Roam, by the way, not a rinse, but still a lot of once again flexibility from Cascade. Known for that, but Rebellion Esports, now that the Roger is gone, what's going to be the adjustment here? Because there's no way you're gonna still use the same strategy, but apparently no. Still gonna be Terizla and also a Julian. So a bit different by now, even though the picks are kind of the same in game number 1. I believe in the first phase of game number 1, they actually secured a Moskov. Oh. But this is a staple for Sutsujin. It's Alpha in the jungle.
Yeah, Alpha, they want to jump into RRQ with Terizla, with the Julian swords as well. So, of course, this Alpha can be a good counter-initiator towards the Terizla and the Julian. And this Terizla, again, come week 2, I feel like it opens up a flex pick, in which we have seen last week Beloyski bringing up that Terizla roam and then ODCS picking it in the first game. But I'm not a fan of this Terizla roam. You don't really have enough of that control aside from your penalty zone, and you have to bank on it every 40 seconds. So they need something that can really, again, peel off the players of RRQ to initiating towards Rebellion Esports.
Not for our Rebellion, they're banning away the Moskov instead, so you have to wonder what do they have planned for the gold lane right here. Because for RRQ, again, no real rush to try and do anything. They banned the Tegreal away again, so they're really concerned. I mean, that was one of the picks that really messed up their game plans before, by the way. Against Bigatron, I believe. So no Tigreal right now, and they still have a great amount of damage output right here. We talked about damage output being one of the things that RRQ had over Rebellion. Now with the Alpha, Edith, and Aurora, it's the same thing. They have a lot of damage, and they have a lot of sustainability. So they can outlast the whole composition from Rebellion right now that relies more on instant burst, on ultimates almost, to try and make the plays happen.
Pretty much the exact same ban from game number 1. Even in the second phase, emphasizing on that frontliners for Rebellion Esports, Hylos and Title ban for Cascade, but I realize I cannot hear. Like, this is our kingdom. The passion, man. The drums. It's echoing through my ears.
Ceiling is on fire. I mean, the Kingdom, they always bring out the hype, the energy. And this is what I like about RRQ and their fan base, the Kingdom. Always bringing that energy. What about you, Arashi?
What
about the energy that you bring?
I can't hear you, man. It's just too loud. But they played the Herald again right here, so for RRQ, they have a chance to still hide their last pick right here. So do they want to show the gold lane first, or do they want to show potentially the roaming pick first? Because especially with the matchup against Audi, there might be some sense here in leaving Edok's pick for the final pick.
If time is a river.
Oh, again.
Made it work in game number 1, but so far RQ hasn't secured that pickoff hero. That solid pickoff, even though Edith is also pretty good, but it's not really the same tier as the Franco. Rebellion though, do they want to try to bait out that Franco pick once again, because it is open, or maybe ODTZ, ODCS, you know, might want to have something to say. Like, I'm gonna pick Franco this time.
They can pick the Franco, they can move the Zas gold lane maybe if they want to blow off SQ. Interesting possibilities available for Rebellion right here, but they're taking their time with this. They want to think it out. Definitely more damage output, more AoE can always be great, but not a lot of heroes has that at their disposal as of right now. It's gonna be a Beatrix and a Kaja. It's gonna be a pick-off matchup potentially in the roaming position, and this Beatrix, man, that's AoE combo, so that's great, but it's still a very vulnerable pick.
For sure. There's a reason why Beatrix is not really the highest hot commodity in the gold lane. And this is looking like a season 11 combo here. Beatrix and Kaja throwing it back to the previous seasons, but it is going to be the Kufra, a known counter for that Kaja. Let's see though, what's gonna happen in this game. Edok on a new different hero by now.
This is interesting, man. On the Kaja, against a Kufra, against an Edith, both can kind of stop you from dragging your teammate too far away. Especially with the Beatrix being so vulnerable, I'm fully expecting a Purify, but will that be enough? Right? Will the Purify alone be enough to try to survive from the Alpha rush forward with the true damage, with the Aurora making a play knowing that the Beatrix is relatively immobile? There's a lot of ways for this game to go for both the side of Rebellion and RRQ. It comes down to the execution. And when it comes down to the wave clear and rotation, I gotta say, I think RRQ has this, man.
Yeah, that control ability just speaks volume, man. 8.0 compared to 5.2. A whole different composition here for the second bout of these two teams with a lot of history. The OG Kingslayer Rebellion Esports has to do a lot more in this game number 2 if they want to play a game 3. It is going to be RRQ Hoshi versus Rebellion Esports.
Rebellion Esports, will they be able to retain that moniker? The Kingslayers, they were able to take down the Sky Kings, and next maybe the Kingdom itself, opting to last season, of course. But now, as the junglers, they will try to march and clear their waves. How will the vision of this game pan out, Arashi?
When it comes to clear and AoE, the early game I think really favors RRQ, man. The hailstones coming in from Rins definitely does a lot of damage. Audi going for some information in the orange buff, and the Litho actually is relatively untouched by both junglers here. So Sutsujin is going for the faster clear with the Alpha, and he will be able to get the Litho with the help of Rins. Looking at the emblem by IndyHome, by Telkomsel, Biception. Weapon mastery here for Matt. He wants to take this to the late game, try and match the damage output of Skylar. A bold move for sure, but when it comes down to it, less tenacity is in the hands of Rebellion. So they're trying to match the movement speed with the agility and the Winner's Blessing. Look at the Frosty Winds though.
Here they go, Matt under pressure, and there goes the impact, and the Spear of Alpha connects. Skylar gets the first blood, ODCS next. That's the operational target for RRQ, but they will be enough. And opting to just take down that gold later.
What a play by Sutsujin to try to bait out all the tools coming in from Matt and to finally seal the deal with the Spear of Alpha. Skylar immediately getting massive value from the turret gold. As Matt comes back to try and do something, to try and get some control, but RRQ, they have the clear advantage and they are using it.
Yep, they pulled the trigger first. Beautiful sandwich from the Kingdom, but Matt, at that time, I believe he actually misclicked the flicker to the wall. That's why hands didn't really move an inch from his original position. And now, RRQ, they have a better composition for a turtle setup. This time around, they won the first game. They also won the first neutral objective game. Now, let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah, the Mine Eater just helping down, taking away the turtle. And there goes Cars trying to pop the hammers left and right. Dyron with the air shatter and the onwards, the chain as well, trying to lock him in place. But Cars gets Edok, and there they go with the trade. 1-for-1 still enough. Dominic's Descent there to just give an extra damage. Currently from Sway low, but they will disengage, and they will probably go for a second turtle dance. This time around, Rebellion does have the upper hand.
They also have the...
No, what?
Whoa!
Out of nowhere, and the Divine Judgment there goes into Sway low on Sutsujin. Sutsujin gets taken down. Ryota trying to pop the retribution and he gets it. Dyron having to tank all the damage given by Rebellion Esports, and the Blue Bulls, they strike back.
Winning the first objective of the game, but what the hell just happened in the bottom lane? It's not supposed to be like that. They're supposed to play the gold lane safely, but Mad once again falls. 0-0. 0 kills so far in the match.
It's just Skylar things, bro. Using a late game hero to get a snowball going in. What more do you want? As Adok charges up, Matt is definitely in danger, but you look at the pickoff game earlier. Ooh, aggression coming from Rebellion.
Flicker forward, Sutsujin doesn't have the Spear of Alpha, and there goes the Frigid Glacier, but Ryota does get Sutsujin. Now Darren trying to pop up the Earth Shatter. Renz will bite back towards Ryota. AudiCS looking to push his issue towards Dyren. Dyren has the Earth Shatter, and the onwards not enough. As Cars will take down the XP laner of RRQ, as Matt under enough pressure to just waver his control off that turret bottom side.
Skylar, man, we thought that, you know, right now he's on the back seat, he's not really controlling the game anymore, but when he's asked to do it, he's gonna deliver 2 games within a ton so far, and it's looking really good. Just like the audience prediction, 90-10. That is a lot of difference there.
Absolutely one-sided for this game. Idok, though, does he spot it? Audi has been doing a great job going for the pickoffs with the Divine Judgment. And Sway Low himself is doing a better job matching the impact of Rins when it comes to the rotation. Sutsujin has been invaded, has been disturbed in his own jungle. But for RRQ, they're willing to trade that off for that gold lane dominance. Will that pay off, though? If Skylar can free hit in the fights, that is possible. Look at Dyron, though, starting a play for Sutsujin.
Onward with the Spear of Alpha as well. The penalty zone will lock them in place, but Cars already dropping down so low. And the Honorary Impact will connect, as Cars having to bite the bullet of getting ganked by 2 players of RRQ.
Oh, hang on a minute. They made a play on the opposite side of the map, so Rebellion immediately go for the turtle, and they get it in exchange for Cars. I guess it's a great play by Cars there to kind of double down and buy some time to get the neutral objective. But as a result, Dyron is bashing on this turret, trying to get an advantage. Edok with a great amount of scouting. Get this, a cape on the Kufra, man. He's been doing a great job staying out of vision in this game.
Yep. And Rebellion Esports so far a much more competitive game compared to game number 1. And I feel like it has to do something with AudiCS.
Tyrant's Rage connects towards AudiCS. He has to fly away with the Nibiru's Passion as well. Divine Judgment towards Edok. But the entropy by Skylar moving forward. Sutsujin in the back line, trying to catch towards Waylow. Dominate's Descent able to be popped up, and Sutsujin having to flee the crime scene as Edok trying to fish for more. Edok connects the jump towards Waylow. And Swaylo this time doesn't escape death.
Give this man an initiator. He's gonna initiate. He's gonna get you the kills. Serve it up on a silver platter. Edok so far. A great show, a great performance against Rebellion Esports. RRQ up 1.3.
Don't forget to redeem the code in the GoPay app to get a 50% cashback voucher. GoPay FTW.
For the win.
Only for the first 100 people. Don't miss out, because right now, RRQ, they're gonna increase the tempo to try and get control here. With 2 turrets taken out already, you can see the jungle becoming less and less secure for Rebellion to try and farm in. This final mid turret is what RRQ needs to crack open the whole map. But look at this on the top side.
Cars stuck in no man's land, penalty zone defensively. It flickers back and try to run away from the RRQ kingdom. The players just onslaughting. Matt flickers forward, gets Dyron in that process, and there they go. AudiCS locking Edok in place. Ryota with the chains connects, and the Frigid Glacier is there. Spear of Alpha traded back. Sutsujin not able to kill Ryota yet. And RRQ, they will try to disengage, but this time Rebellion, they go home with the advantages needed, losing Dyron and Edok in the hands of RRQ.
Finally, Matt is on the board. They're 1-2-1 so far. And so far, I was gonna say that it's a much more competitive game because AudiCS is on his hero, man. That Kaja doing work so far. Hasn't died a single time and getting some of the kills that Rebellion has towards his team. And now another turtle secured for the Rebels. A dominant display in the neutral objective game, 3 out of 3 against RRQ.
Seems like RRQ will be trying to let go of this turret, try and get something else in exchange. Already taking away the orange buff from Ryota. They might be able to get the second turret here, but Cars, the absolute menace, man. Such
Oh my
a
God.
problem for RRQ when they're trying to go for these trade-offs. Look at Rinse.
What? Rinse? Having that passive, trying to survive for so long, but Swaylo gets taken. Or rather takes the life of Rinse in that process, but Sujin does trade it back. Swaylo pops the Dominator's Descent just to try to defend himself from RRQ's aggression.
What was that though? Audi didn't get to move at all. He was just ping-ponged like popcorn all over the place. Ryota with the Fight of Heaven though will be having a lot more damage here if the fight does go the distance, or there is space for him to basic attack with those empowered extra magic damage basic attacks. But RRQ, they're waiting for a moment and they have a chance to try and go for something in the mid lane. The mid turret is definitely where all eyes are on right now. 50 seconds till the next Lord means that both teams are just waiting for a chance, and Edok makes the first move.
Oh, he jumps forward, Parent's Rage connects towards Cars, but no follow-up. The chain does put Edok in place, and he can't really move that much. But the entropy by Skylar, just trying to pop it defensively. And Ryota,
Oh, wow.
for an assassination, but they will disengage. Holy Crystal for Skylar.
Apparently, Matt is still playing a Beatrix like a Moskov, doing work in the far lane. And that might be the original game plan for Rebellion, even if they were using a Beatrix. This is very interesting, man. And slowly but surely, Rebellion takes control of the game. 300, 200 gold lead. It's not really much, you know, but it's honest work after what happened in the early game. Now the gold swung towards the Rebels.
Look, it's just a big difference when it comes to the side lane survivability. Dyron against Cars. Look at Edok though, trying to get out. Lethal was secured by Rebellion as well, so the vision game favors them quite heavily. Look at this play though, screening for the Lord, but Cars once again just moves forward. He knows he's too tanky to be shut down.
They do screen the Lord. Edok caught, but the penalty zone connects towards the backline. Skylar will entropy backwards, but Sujin does gets the kill towards Cars, and the Lord now in the hands of Rebellion. The turnaround, they're able to slay it down in RRQ. They lose their grasp of the big elephant in the room, and that is the Lord.
Beautiful response by the Rebels. They knew that something is wrong and actually goes to the Lord pit and gets what they want.
Oh, there you go, Edok with the Divine Judgment, but Matt is on fire now. Sujin, Cotton stuck in the wrong and a hard place. Rinse able to get Ryota, but on a very, very low HP. Will Rebellion re-aggress as Audi CS just trying to farm for an angle. Skylar is so aggressive in that mid lane.
When we thought it was over, they were actually able to make a play over and over again. Usually after you get the Lord, the tempo, the tension just died down, but another kill secure in this match. About almost in 1k gold lead for Rebellion Esports, Rashi.
It's still only about 1k gold lead, and you have to remember in the late game, this Natan is a massive problem along with the Alpha. You're seeing the true damage trying to stack up, but Sujin forced to back away. RRQ will be trying to play the safe game, trying to clear this Lord out and maybe save the turret passive even. Might be too much to ask for though.
Oh, they saved it.
Wait, actually they did save it.
Yeah, they're saving it.
That's massive value for RRQ, but now it's back to the waiting game where for Rebellion, Cars has just been an absolute menace here. He's the main front line that can't really be melted down. The moment RRQ get enough items though to really shut him down, I feel like this game is going to have a massive swing in momentum.
Yep, game fact by aplikasi baru GoPay throughout the ODCS's career.
Oh, wait, you have to wait for it because there goes the Divine Judgment. He's blocking the backline, but there you go, Cars again and again with the penalty zone, trying to rattle the backline of RRQ. Swaylo gets Rinse, and there they go with the trade unconditionally. Matt does get Sujin in place, and Dyron escapes, and he lives to tell the tale, but it's gonna be a bitter one for RRQ.
On cue, Rashi, you mentioned Cars tanking the damage. And also the engage, the response is instant.
It's just so unfortunate that the engage from Edok did not land. A massive miss there allows Rebellion to have the advantage and one more turret. 42 seconds until the next Lord. RRQ, they gotta pick and choose their fights carefully. I dare say they might want to send Dyron out in the front first and allow Edok to really find and pick and choose that engagement. Because every time the Divine Judgment is used onto Edok, RRQ are just having a difficult time trying to match that presence. They either have to stop Audi CS, or they gotta try and stop Matt from channeling that full-on mid-laner's passion.
There's still something that you have to look forward or like look out for RRQ, because Sutsujin and Skylar is up about 1k gold lead from their each counterpart against Rebellion Esports, so the damage dealing potential from RRQ is still there. The question is, once again, Edok, can you make the thing happen? Because so far the engages is on towards ODCS, on towards Cars.
Oh,
It's gonna be a blitz.
Oh my goodness, they get the Lord. Dyron tries to counter-engage. And again, shrouded in secrecy, Rebellion Esports quietly get the Lord RRQ, left with their pockets empty.
The game slipping out from the fingers of RRQ here. It's looking so good, and they do have the damage. But when it comes to the decisiveness, Rebellion are just outmaneuvering RRQ, man. They're doing everything just so much faster, so much quicker. And now with the scouting here, they're gonna immediately zone RRQ out of their own jungle and make this a base fight. With Skylar, with Rins, there's a lot of wave clear still, but Rebellion will definitely make a play happen.
Yeah, the Lord marching into the fray here. Turret number 1 in that mid lane, rather. The base turret will be able to just stand tall because they defended pretty well. And this time, Rebellion Esports, they're waiting for the timing to just jump in. Scars will be the front man to deal with the turret this time around. The RQ hold ODCS with the pull and Metas get Dyron as he's able to stack up and rack up the kills. He is the most wanted man in Land of Dawn, but Edok will jump in and the Spear of Alpha is there as Rins will follow up the kill. And our Rebellion Esports, they're forced to flee away. RRQ hold their castle gates.
I thought Kufra was supposed to be the counter for a Kajarashi, but ODCS, so far, the game fact earlier, he's racked up 8 out of 9 wins in MPL Indonesia. This is the reason why this guy is so much of a menace on this initiator.
It's also the difference between the Edith and the Terizla. The fact that Audi can just wait for Cars to pull the trigger and then go for an adaptive play. Edith can't really do the same kind of deal. Dyron can't really engage from that far away. He's relying on being more survivable, which is exactly why you're seeing Edok sometimes frontline for the whole team right here. They're just losing out when it comes to engage range.
Yep. And now you can already see some of the maybe solution that RQ might be able to offer. Rins on the skirmish earlier in the bottom lane, he was able to kind of cover for Edok when he went for the Tyrant's Revenge and Rage. So maybe just let Rins just go with one of the frontliners to check the bushes. That might be the reason, or like the solution for the Kingdom.
RRQ, they don't really have instant engagers. Most of their initiations, their engagers are telegraphed. You know, the Kufra jump, the Earth Shatter coming in from Dyron will, you know, it's going to be very easy for Rebellion Esports to sense the initiation. So of course, Rebellion can just pace themselves, zone out, the players of RRQ, not let them jump into the backlines, because again, they don't have that instant backline access except from Edok, you know, with the Tyrant's Rage and the bouncing ball jumping into the backline of Rebellion Esports.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a change in the itemization, because an Athena shield or something to really stave off that burst damage will be so beneficial for RRQ right now. If they can survive the initial pickup attempt, they have a chance. But look at Edok.
There goes Edok with the Tyrant's Rage. Counterplay by Rins with the hail, but not yet able to just flee away and erase the players of Rebellion Esports. They're still trying to blitz around the Lord. It takes 2 to tango, and this time RRQ doesn't want to dance.
That was a lot of resource, by the way, on towards Cars, and he's already full HP. They want to blitz this. Rio's already half HP on the Lord. Tyron!
Flicker onwards, and they pop! The penalty zone connects, but Skylar does get the kill, and ODCS will engage forward. Edok still jumping in the backline. Sutsujin does get Ryota, and ODCS alongside Cars, and it's way low, running for the hills. And once again, the Kingdom, they turn the tides around.
RQ gives them an opportunity, and they're gonna absolutely capitalize, man. Matt caught lacking, caught slipping. Tyron, the man, just beautifully engaged towards the DPS, was the most important member of Rebellion.
That was one of their only win conditions. Take out the Beatrix, remove the damage source from the side of Rebellion. And RRQ found it out of nowhere, and they get the Lord as well. If you thought that they can defend against the Lord so easily, they can play with the Lord easily as well. The AoE from Rebellion is limited only to the penalty zone. Audi can get one person, but it's only one. If RRQ can move together as a team right here, or even orchestrate a 3-wave push, this could be a very tough situation for them to try and get out of.
Odysseus, he has to somehow replicate what Tyron does towards Matt. This time around though, towards Skyler, that's so far in the faces of a Kaja, in the faces of a Terizla, is still on a 0 death. The exact KDA in the first game. Skyler playing really safely so far. Like, how do you go about this? You have a lot of peel also in Tyron and Edok, and now the Lord is about to crash in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this Lord just marching, knocking in the doorsteps of Rebellion Esports RRQ. They don't want to overstay their welcome. Odysseus misses the Divine Judgment, and now without an initiation tool, RRQ might just try to expose this base onto themselves. Cars jumping in, but Edok with the Tyrant's Rage, and Cars having to bite back. But Tyrant just jumps in, forward with the Primal Wrath, the Crystal exposed, and RRQ looking to initiate the comeback, but Cars with the penalty zone, still enough to hold the line. The Rebellion Esports, Subsidiary down, Skyler still above it, the Crystal falls down. RRQ initiate the comeback, and the Bulls, their horns tarnished. The Kingdom stands tall once again.
Wow! 2-0! When the game looked like it slipped out of RRQ's hands, they were able to steal it right back. This is why they were called the King of Kings. The composure to end the game, and the clutches of moments.
It all comes down to a single moment in the Land of God. Again and again, we've seen it happen. In this matchup, with all the rivalry, with the hesitation building up towards that late game, RRQ find the one moment that does matter, and they take out Rebellion, man. The Kingslayers no longer.
Wow. Everyone had their part, man. Even Tyron. You don't want to look at the KDA, but that single play changes the entire course of the game. Just one pickoff towards the Beatrix.
I was like, you know, the initiations of RRQ, they're telegraphed, and Iron was like, nah.
Would you have a flicker?
I'ma prove you wrong with this flicker, and the right target as well, getting Matt with that Earth Shatter. And RRQ, wow, they escaped from death this time around.
Even in the last fight, we saw that both teams were trying to make the play too, an MDL ID as well. So the guy has a lot of very stellar moments right here. But when it comes down to it, a lot of people have the same opinion, right? That's the MDL.
Yeah.
This is the big boys league, right? This is MPL ID. It's a whole different situation, a whole different atmosphere in the arena, and a whole different level of competition. So can this guy bring the same kind of skill, the same kind of pressure to the bigger stage?
Yeah, the question was always the stage jitters, the nervousness. This is what, you know, Team Liquid ID was also experiencing last week. Same for the new players of Doma, of Panseer, when they were playing last week. You know, the question was, are they able to kind of shake off the stage jitters? Because, again, like what Arashi said, MPL ID is way more, you know, competitive, way more tenacious and prestigious. So I hope they won't be nervous and they can deliver an interesting game.
Sadly though, I think the normal, I know that jitters and like those kind of nervousness is normal, but a lot of MPL Indonesia fans doesn't have that patience, man. They want the rookies to deliver right away, which is why we've talked about Edok and the rookies of RRQ, Rinse coming in hot for RRQ, and they were able to deliver right away, and that is going to be a huge boost of morale for them. But on the other teams, for example, Alter Ego, we actually talked with Coach Aldo the backstage. Owen and Roundel against GeekFam. That was game number one. Was I'm sorry, but that was unbelievably atrocious. That was not a high-level MPL game for sure. And the reason why they were underperforming, as Coach Aldo would say, is just jitters.
Just jitters? Well, for Alter Ego, we've seen that they were able to eventually shake off those jitters and perform on the big stage. But you can't say the same thing for everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, soon, or about right now, we're going to go straight into the drafting phase for game number one between EVOS and Team Liquid. And you have to wonder, okay, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a jungle prio? Is it going to be a mid lane prio or a roam prio? The meta right now is so flexible.
For sure.
I feel like coaches that have access to a lot of good flex picks have an inherent advantage right here. As we can see, several picks already highlighted. Is it a Hylas for Evo's Glory?
Ooh. Wow. Hylas in a Harith Hayabusa.
Triple H.
For sure. But there's a neatness on the other side. So, as you said, Arashi, that flexibility in the draft is a really highly sought commodity. Hence, Roger, Edith, even Ruby, the Scott viewers are very important in this phase of the draft. Let's see though, the third pick, it's going to be a quite early export for Team Liquid ID, possibly just to counter that Hylos.
Yeah, the X-Borg has been touted the counter towards the Hylos with the damage it does have. But again, EVOS with this Hylos might be very, very scary, especially when you have the slows coming in from the Harith, and then you have the Glorious Pathway that also slows down the enemies that come to you. So this Zask and Edith might have quite some trouble facing the composition that just wants to fight in their face, because Zask, you know, he does have the ultimate, but again, it's going to be quite hefty to dodge out the Hylos.
We'll see the export here being used to try and maybe deal with the Hylos, the Zask as well, with a great amount of slow, a continuous amount of slow as well. As the Edith, it's a great front-to-back composition, but there's a lot of dive available for the side of Evos. They have to stop not just the Hylos, but everyone behind him as well. And as of right now, there's a very limited amount of crowd control available for Team Liquid. So they have to try and get a bit more, or get something a bit more play-make heavy, something they can outplay a lot better in the backline. And that's exactly why Evos are banning away the carry with the short cooldown dashes.
Yeah. In MPL Season 10, Fabian is pretty much the MVP through 3 games. But yeah, this is very interesting. Aurora making, once again, a noise in MPL Indonesia Season 14. A lot of people didn't really expect that, but the amount of quad control that this woman can provide is off the charts. Same with Chusen. So yeah, a lot of emphasis on the CCs and also the prolonged team fight for this draft. We got a draft info right here. TLID during MPL Season 10. Fabian became the #1 top player in kills per game, gold per game, and cold per minute. Okay, that is, wow. If that's not MVP, I don't know what is. That's insane.
And you would argue that if Fabian does deliver, Team Liquid ID, or rather back then Aura Esports, might be the team who produces rookie junglers who are top-notch in their own departments and in their own rights. And now, of course, banning out the Nolan, which is a staple of Fabian's, of course. So just standing down and coning down the options for that assassin jungler in the hands of Fabian.
Assassin jungler right here against this composition, I think he's going to be struggling a bit when it comes down to just being able to move around and actually secure some of those kills. So for Team Liquid, do they want to show it already right here, or are they going to opt to go for something else? They showed the Moscow first, so they're hiding that last pick, and technically Flex is available right here. The Edith can go to the roam position, the Export can go to the jungle position. Coach saying that Lucas can kind of play around with this. But for the side of Evos right here, great dive already. They need ways to kind of lock down Team Liquid. They can kind of slow them down with the glorious pathway, but afterwards, not a lot of ways for Evos to kind of force Team Liquid to stick around. Something with a stun, with a knock-up would be great here to combo with the rest of the picks.
Knock-up for the roam, I guess. So
Minotaur?
Panzer, we've seen Panzer played with Guinevere, so I don't know if that's gonna be the option for Dreams. But yeah, his hero is still open pretty much. You have the Tigreal, you have the Minotaur, but it's going to be the Jawhead, I believe. Oh wow! They want to play it quick and bounce out with a glorious pathway. A lot of pick-off heavy composition here for strategy.
This is dangerous, man. The issue with how RRQ were playing this Jawhead back then is that they weren't able to get control over the bushes and set up traps using the Jawhead. Now with the Hylas, with the Vexana, there's so much weight to swing around here when you're trying to contest for prio in the bushes. And if you can do that, then you can enable the Jawhead to just find the right targets. Fortunately for them right here against Team Liquid, the only real good target might just be the Zask and the Moskov. And there's a lot of ways to kind of play around this. You can rely on the Purify or more defensive battle spells to kind of negate the effect of the Jawhead. The main displacement, the ejector, is going to be the main value that this Jawhead brings for Evos.
Oh, there you go. They want to steal a kill and bounce out. I'm gonna chase you, or maybe I'm just gonna back away with a guiding wind. So it is going to be the export jungler for a jungler that's known for an assassin. So it's not only his power, but you know, you gotta do with what's available, I guess.
Interesting situation here. What season is it when we're seeing the Matilda and the Jawhead go head-to-head in the EXP lane? We haven't seen this in a long, long time, and back then, it was already a hyped-up matchup. Now with both teams just competing for that early game trial, I gotta say, when it comes to rotations, I think Evos will definitely have a bit of an edge. That Jawhead is so deadly in the early game, and with the clear, with the passive from the Vexana, they're gonna be around the map a lot more, man. And if they let the Hylas go out of control, that's a big problem.
Oh man, the Hylas is playing for the White Tigers, not for the cavalry. The horses is stolen. But right now, a battle to see who's gonna win the first game of their season in Season 14. Is it going to be the cavalry, TLID, or is it going to be the White Tigers in Avos glory? Here we go.
Here we go. The Blue Derby, as two of these teams are still fishing and seeking their first victory, their first win in this MPL ID stage. Team Look at ID, of course, with their rookies. Will they be able to deliver?
Look at that clear. The Jawhead assisting with the clear, almost soloing the orange buff with that with the missiles. And in the mid lane, you can see a Heskill, the more flashy, more aggressive player. That also means that you're more susceptible to getting picked off, to getting a play made on you. And look at this. Dreams is still going around with Fluffy here. I wonder what the emblems are looking like. And on cue by IndieHome here, looking at the Jawhead, going with the Firmness and the Wilderness Blessing. So no cheese emblem strats like going for the Season Hunter to try and steal some camps away. But aside from that, that's going to be a weapon mastery for the Harriet as well with the Inspire. So Brands is playing for the late game. And look at this rotation for both teams, kind of avoiding going up against each other. But that kind of favors Annabelle, I feel like. Being the assassin, he wants to try and get the power spike first and then have space to make plays happen.
Okay, Dreams getting poked down a little bit by Fabian. So both teams, so far there's not much skirmishes, there's not much bout here in the first 2 minutes, but Annabelle's gonna change that.
Oh, Quad Shadow with the Shadow kill as well towards Fabian, but Fabian hitches a ride with the guiding win. He'll be okay. And Witty goes out, and he will be fine.
Super aggressive right from the get-go in the early game. That's what you have to do as a jungler in Hayabusa. But let me remind you once again that Zaz so far this day has racked up 0% win rate from Rebellion Esports. So let's see though. Is he as skill is gonna be able to change that?
And on the gold lane side, it's Brands up against Aaron Shiki. So a lot of new against old matchups happening here, especially for Team Liquid. That's definitely a big factor, but Fabian doesn't seem phased with that situation. He knows that the expert has fighting prowess, but Annabelle is on the hunt. Look at Arando.
Oh, flicker onwards towards Dreams. He will be dead. First blood for Witty, the rookie comes in. And now Fabian with the last insanity and the retribution connects as well. Fluffy will go out and he will be okay. But the Turtle and also Dreams conceded to the hugging arms of Team Look at ID.
What a way to show your potential. Right from the get-go, TLID, their new lineup is making noise in the first objective battle. Meanwhile, Aaron Shiki actually winning the lane, also against Brands. Meanwhile, Telprediction, we're apparently the only guy that voted for TLID is Lim Kocho.
Lim Kocho.
Lim Kocho does not go with the flow ever.
Lim Kachao.
Let's see how this plays out though, because for now, Team Liquid does have a better grasp. They have more dynamic ways to engage, but you have to remember that late game high loss, or at least mid game high loss, is where it gets quite difficult to try and deal with. Especially with the Harriet and Vexana. These are all great picks that really spike up hard in the mid game. Same thing can be said for Annabelle on the Hayabusa as well.
Oh, here they go. Circling Eagle with the Fabian as well jumping in. The Quad Shadow is there. Annabelle gets the kill towards Witty.
Oh!
Is still jumping in. Brands in the middle of it all will be okay. Fabian, no. Will take Brands down and Clockman trades one back 2 for 2. As EVOS Glory, it seems like they're able to tip the scales.
That's Brands taken out by Team Liquid in exchange for Fabian. So jungler for gold laner. It's a great investment for the late game. But looking at EVOS, they still have the edge when it comes to pushing here. They're just not really rotating and picking their fights as reliably as they should be. right? They're in the right place faster than Team Liquid, but they're not the ones engaging the fights. Team Liquid is just trying to outdo them in that department because they do have more tools, right? The Circling Eagle, they have the Spear of Misery, they have the Onward Earth Shatter combo, and even the Last Insanity. So Team Liquid can be a lot more elusive here in their approach to the fight. Evos are just relying purely on having better execution.
Offbeat, so not going to be caught up with the missiles, and so far Woody, he's been very dynamic with the uses of the circling or the guiding wind, not just only for offense, for defense, but for rotation also. Meanwhile, Dreams.
Projector towards Iran, he's stuck in a rock and a hard place, and he will go down the glorious pathway, gives the pathway, but Annabelle will be able to steal from the clutches of Team Liquid ID. Here comes the Last Insanity, but not enough to take down Fluffy. The glowing one ticks down, and Fluffy will be okay. Team Liquid ID, they lose the turtle and also the member that has to go down, which is Iran.
The name's Fluffy, but he's tanky as hell, man, with the Revitalize as well. It's actually, if he didn't pop that Revitalize, he would have gone down. And now EVOS has the lead, and also one turret secured in the top lane.
Great hit by Evos, man. The combo here, the Jawhead engage into the stun, but Annabelle getting jumped on immediately by Witty.
The mispercent as well as the Circling Eagle. Shadow. Annabelle jukes around, and he will be okay. As the Shadow Kill will save him instead.
The Shadow Kill to Circling Eagle combo there, that was weird. On the bottom side, look at the pressure by Evos here, going straight for the turrets. They know the mid game is the power spike, and looking at the items right here. The glowing wand for the Vexana, the Starlium Scythe for Brands on the Harriet as well. They've got a lot of burst damage, and they're absolutely willing to use it. That combo earlier, as I was saying, is just so lethal. You get hit by the Ensemble Force, you get ejected backwards into the full combo of the Vexana, the Eternal Guard, the Terrify, the Cursed Blast as well. So the pickup potential for Evos right here is really insane. And that's really before even factoring in the fact that the Hylas earlier on from Fluffy were just running straight at the backline, and Team Liquid had no answer.
I feel like so far the experience just speaks for EVOS glory. So far TLID has been losing on the macro game, losing 2 turrets, and even when they secured the neutral objective, the first one, there's really not much of a conversion for TLID. Meanwhile, EVOS, when they won it, they were able to get a kill and also a turret. So yeah, TLID still has a lot of chance to prove themselves on that macro department.
Ooh, look at Dreams. Fluffy.
Look at Dreams! Ejector! And Iran says goodbye as Annabelle rather jumps into him. But Fabian now will tank all the damage needed as the Eternal Guard will knock the players of TLID to such low HPs. And the turtle now in place. Dreams being caught in that Last Insanity. He will be okay. Annabelle, the Quad Shadow saves him. And he goes back! My goodness me, he is Annabelle Houdini. Just joking around, tap dancing with the players of Team Liquid ID.
Magical is right. He is like Houdini. Goes in, goes out, gets the turtle, and bounce out. Bye-bye. Let me take the goal.
You see the pressure here by Evos. Team Liquid, they're trying to find ways to kind of match it out. They even went for that Last Insanity play so early on to try and get some more control, get some more ground in the neutral objective fight. And they were unable to do so. Annabelle, just too slippery on that Hayabusa. You're seeing the invulnerability just proved to be such a big weapon, especially against a team that requires the big skills, the big burst damage to land.
How do you even get Annabelle unless you get a good stun on towards or like from Iran? I don't really think it's gonna be possible, right? He's just too slippery with it, man. Even getting, stunned to the wall for a solid 1 second doesn't stop this ninja to do work. So far, Fabian doesn't really have a lot of pressure. And also not much of a damage from TLID, I gotta say.
Yeah, Annabelle with the, Hayabusa does have that added cost, but Annabelle has to pop the Shadow Kill defensively this time. Not being able to get the kill, he will pop back the Quad Shadow, and he will be expended off that ultimate that might prove to be crucial in the coming minutes.
That's a solo play with no follow-up. I guess the cooldown isn't that long, but no ultimates were used by Team Liquid as well. Maybe Annabelle was trying to bait something out right there, making that solo move. It was very, very risky, man, considering that he is snowballing out of control. Looking at Team Liquid, they're just grouping up together. and they are definitely aware of the dangers of this Jawhead at this point. It's been the main engage tool for Evos for the past 3 massive fights, and it's paid off every single time.
Yeah, and for the past 1,265 days,
Wow.
TLID has been playing with Kabuki on that gold lane. He was consistent until this season in week number 1. Really, a lot of errors from the man that was, you know, known to be one of the best mechanically sound player, gold laner in MPL Indonesia. Meanwhile, Fabian in the front line.
Oh, they will jump in, and so much damage given. Sakurigo in the back line, and Aaron Shiki misses this spear of destruction. Annabelle will jump forward alongside with Brands, and they do get the kills needed.
Oh.
Flicker forward, Witty tries to eye out Annabelle, just moving back towards the top lane, as Witty now has to turn on his speed and run away.
The spidey sense from Annabelle, man. He knows something's gonna come if he stays or recalls on that, but we've seen this before in one of his streams, actually. The instinct.
That's a respectable attempt by Witty to try and secure the kill onto Annabelle, and he even went back in with that sliver of HP. With the Lord secured right here, you see a bit of a gold swing for Team Liquid due to the pushing that Aaron Shiki was able to do on the Moskov, but now Evos can very easily equalize that. Team Liquid has to group as 5. They don't really operate well 1v1, so they can't really win out against Evos when it comes to the pushing of multiple lanes at the same time. And you're seeing them control the waves really, really well. Going for the control in the jungle first to ensure that they can spring traps for Team Liquid ID.
Definitely want to defend this one, and gotta say they do have a lot of play clear here, but Fluffy, no man's land.
So far, with Glorious Pathway, he does get stuck in the middle of the fight. Witty going low, but Fluffy still survives, and Dreams ejects a run into the backline, but he does misses it, and now the quad shadow with the shadow kill as well by Annabelle, catching the kill and a double kill for Annabelle. Dreams able to run away from the Mind Eater, and he will be okay, especially with that immortality as well. And the Evos, they go out with losing Brands and Clockwork in the process, but is it worth it?
I think losing all the turrets, except for the mid turret, definitely is a tough blow for Team Liquid. They require the safety of the turrets, man, and the vision to ensure that Evos with their pick-off strat, with the Jawhead, with the Hayabusa, can kind of be kept under control. Now with Brands picking up the Holy Crystal as well, when it comes to pick-off, man, Evos has got it. Anyone that gets jumped on by Evos will be taken out, I believe. So I think Fabian is the best candidate for the job. Whereas for Team Liquid, you saw what happened, man. They poured everything they could into Fluffy, and he just walked out. That's the horse for you.
Yeah, horse reaction. Fluffy not falling on that situation. It really speaks about how low of a damage TLID composition has in this phase of a game. And even when they're banking on Aaron Shika's spears to be able to burst down the horse, Fluffy actually bought a blade armor, so he knows what the threat is. He knows that he has to kind of, you know, deny some of the damage from the Moskov. And now 2K gold lead, I gotta say, after that Lord, it's not much of a difference, I guess. Not much of a conversion from Evos from that Lord, at least in the gold department. Arando.
Oh, he will get stuck with that deadly grasp, but he will be okay. Dreams looking for a flank angle in the bush.
No.
He sits underneath and waits, not being able to get an angle to maybe catch Yeskiel slipping. But I don't think he will function anytime soon. The Lord is getting taken down, corroded. Fluffy pops the Glorious Pathway, and there goes Dreams. Yes, yo! He's still able to flicker away, and he will be just fine. But oh my goodness, Fluffy gets taken down. Fabian, he gets the Lord with the retribution. Now connects. Now Aaron Shiki having to jump forward. The Spear of Destruction. He jumps forward, teleports into it, but he will be just okay. As Evos Glory, they choose to disengage, having to lose Fluffy in that process.
This team is young and hungry. A lot of risk, a lot of gambles, but at the end of the day, they won. Meanwhile, the NFL trying to get something there with the quad shadow, but didn't manage to do so. Oh man, Fabian with the retry over Annabelle. Someone that's not only new in MPL Indonesia Season 14 anymore. He is already one of the better junglers of MPL. They're not really feeling any pressure by now.
Team Liquid, They did a great job withstanding the early mid-game aggression from Team Evos, and now they have a chance to try and bring this all the way to the late game, and with the Lord, they do have good team fighting potential too. Keep your eyes on to Witty, who might go for a big engagement right here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can see Aaron Shiki trying his best to try and deal damage to the turrets, but he has to be careful, just in case Dreams or Clockun makes a crazy play once more.
They'll try to most likely just topple down the turret standing. The Lord marches up top, and there goes the glorious pathway, but Fluffy unable to yet find an angle. Fabian dropped down to low HP, losing his Viraga armor, still has the immortality, so he will be just fine. As EVOS, they are able to at least scamper away the players of Team Liquid ID.
Gold swing from 2K for the White Tigers. This time around, Cavalry snatches it. And a 1K audience prediction. EVOS definitely winning it with 61 compared to 39%.
They definitely still have a good amount of damage available in that late game. Remember, Brands has the weapon mastery. Fluffy though goes in.
The glorious pathway won't be able to connect them now. Fabian jumps through the last insanity, but will it pop to anyone? It won't, as Annabelle pops the shadow kill. Not able to get he does get Aaron Shiki, and the backline access is there for Annabelle. Will he be able to fish for more Dreams? Chasing and leading the charge with the unstoppable force, but the players of Team Liquid ID, they dissuade themselves and disengage.
It was a solid 2 health bars from Aaron Shiki, but somehow that passive, man, 5 stacks of Sky Piercer actually doing work in the late game. Let's see the replay though by Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6. Fabian trying to make a way with that last insanity, but Annabelle just picking apart the weakness of TLID composition.
Ooh, the final few slashes from the shadow kill gets him right on top of Aaron Shiki, and you can see the adjustment. He was running with the Rose Gold Meteor earlier, concerned about Brands and Clockun, but now he goes for the Wind of Nature. He understands that even if he positions well, Annabelle on the Hayabusa can threaten him still. Looking at the setup though, you can see that Dreams operating solo right here, possibly waiting for a chance to punish Aaron Shiki without the Purify available. Oh, going for it.
Oh, down bottom, Aaron Shiki will be the target of operation for EVOS Glory, and he will be able to Abyss walk his way back towards the turret. Now, all eyes on the Lord. Who will get this clash?
And now Aaron Shiki knows some of the game plan from EVOS Glory. From now on, he's gonna be much more careful in the far lane. Meanwhile, the Fluffy!
Oh, Dreams with the ejector run, able to flicker away, and there goes the knock-up with the Eternal Guard. Now Fluffy getting taken down. Aaron Shiki will just dish out the damage from behind. Dreams will be taken down by Fabian. It's a double kill for him, and the rookie now chases his meal for tonight. And Witty with the circling eagle will pop. Clockun deleted from the hands of EVOS Glory. Annabelle having thrown away with the quad shadow now. Aaron Shiki just cracks open the base like a cold can of drink. And Team Liquid ID will be looking for the end. The crystal under the siege of the Team Liquid players now. The crystal in the hands of Aaron Shiki. With the Zaman Force popped up as well, Bronze will be able to dissuade the players of Team Liquid ID. The shadow kill by Annabelle, but the crystal still falls. The cavalry charges forward, and the White Tigers, they falter.
Oh man, seems like the story of the season is rebuilt. A revamp of a team. You can see the happiness, you can see how bright they are after winning that game. Iran and Fabian certainly quite happy with the way they ended the game. So far the problem has always been closing the game, and they closed that one with conviction and a lot of confidence. 1-0 TLID.
Evo's the one expected to win. The team that was predicted by all the casters except for Lim did not get it. With the Jarhead, with the Hylas, they were no match for Team Liquid with their damage output, with the kite back again and again. Even with Annabelle's best attempts, Team Liquid has found a way to just defend and wait for the right moment to just demolish Evos.
That's what you get, man. You have an X-Borg, you have a Moskov, and you have that photo, that healing from Mathilda. You're pretty much A-OK in the late game against
in that situation, if that is how you're supposed to use the Jawhead for Evos, he needs to pull off something like that, you know, flicker in and get Aaron Shiki, right? Nothing else will be acceptable. That is like a requirement, you know, a prerequisite to win the fight. If they don't want to go for that kind of play on the Jawhead, then I feel like they have to try and, they might as well use a different hero, because the pickup potential really is only that good if you can get the right target.
Yeah. Now we're entering the second draft of the game. Actually, Aaron Shiki pulled off a Gojo pose just now. Maybe signaling a Gojo gold lane. After this, you know, I would love to see it, but I don't think you're gonna win. But let's see the bans here. Kufra ban in the first phase. That is something that's quite peculiar, I'm gonna say.
They told me about the Gojo pose.
Yeah?
If you know what happened to Gojo,
Hey.
don't know.
Spoilers.
Why are you saying that? Why do you say that?
I'm gonna spoil Arashi here. I'm kidding. But yeah, of course, Aaron Shiki did have a very good start in that first game. If you take a look at his KDA, it doesn't really resemble a semblance of what he was able to do in game number 1. But I would really hope he would be given an aggressive pick in the marksman department later on. Maybe give him the Claude. I would be interested to look at the Claude in the hands of Aaron Shiki.
Swivel!
Oh, there we go!
Oh, you give him the opportunity and right
Not
away,
bad.
Fanny Fabian will make its debut in Season 14. The Assassins, the best assassin in MDL Season 10. Now, will try its luck, try its wits against the best of Indonesia's.
Now you're seeing why the Ruby and the Kufra has been banned out. Evos though, they have their hands on the Moskov, and in theory, the Moskov should be able to outplay the Fanny, right? There are ways for the Moskov to kind of survive, dodge from the cables, and pin the Fanny down. And with the Edith here being a bit of a flex pick, not a bad start for Coach Strateg.
And now Coach SDL. That Fanny though, I feel like you want to complement that with a good pickoff hero, especially in the roaming area, maybe along the lines of like a cottage or something, but we have a fact here. Oh, it's gone. But now it's going to be the horse picked up by the cavalry, but in top goal, but it's going to be the Jushin. How do you pronounce it? But yeah, it's a perfect combination with the horse, right?
It kind of really is, honestly. The fact that the front line is just so durable, and you're in the back, just kind of illuminating the way, literally. It's like a horse carriage type of combo. With the Sushin let go though, the Evos can still go for the Zask if they really want to. But boy, when it comes to the pickup potential, when it comes to the skirmishes, Team Liquid is looking absolutely crazy right here. If Evos want to try and match it, they have to find something with good survivability, good tankiness. Something like the Alpha, maybe? But I don't know if that's within the hero pool coming in for the side of Evos.
I mean, they have Alpha now. Basically, you can really play Alpha to just avoid the engages coming in, but the Zask. Interesting matchup here in that mid lane against the Zuxin. I feel like the Zuxin does has the spacing. You know, she's always able to play that range advantage with the Lantern Flare. So, yeah, for Zask, I don't think he will be able to dominate this lane like how he did, like how he is used to against other mages in that mid lane.
Gotta be honest with you, Zask is not really the perfect mid laner to pick against a Fanny. I feel like if the Fanny just fly-bys a Zask without even investing a cutthroat towards the Zask will just use the Dominator's Descent because like it's just way too risky for you to gamble on it. There's really no CC, there's no dashes that you can use to be able to get away from the danger. And it feels like Fabian, he has his eyes on his prize.
His eyes on the prize. We'll have to see. Team Liquid though recognize the need to limit that damage that's sustained. They ban it with the Alpha as predicted. Where Evos, they're thinking that there's going to be something like a Roger, something to really supplement this close range diving composition. If you want to try and do this, I feel like it's very realistic. And I feel like card control becomes something of a trial. If Team Liquid really wants to go in and they are afraid of the counter engage, the Minotaur should be something that they're concerned about. The Terista even, if they're really thinking that the Edith might be a role pick already. Oh, Tigreal.
Banning the Tigreal, kind of for himself, I guess. Streams known for one of the best Tigreals in Indonesia. But TLID, it feels like now, what do they ban? Do they want to just limit again the jungler for...
Gaze.
Yeah, it's going to be the Nolan. Annabelle, very known for his Nolan.
Interesting.
The option is gonna be much less if you want to play the assassin. It left something like a Joy or what other assassins are left here?
Oh, the Joy is a good point there, Shevin, because we've been hearing a lot about how fast that Joy can farm. Now when you can spam out the electrifying beats, you can really clear the jungle very, very fast. We're not gonna see just yet if that will be the option for Evos, but with the glue pick right here, trying to match up to Team Liquid when it comes to sustainability, I think it's gonna be a bit different though. Maybe the glue can really jump on the Hylas, right? Stick on the Hylas and then like, you know, spam out the spells and make it difficult for the Hylas to just move towards the backline. That could be an option. But that means that the whole stopping effect is only reliant on the Edith.
So Edith, of course, still able to be flexed, as well as the glue. For Team Liquid ID, they're able to cone down the choices of Annabelle in the jungle. No more assassins that might look viable to fare off against the Fanny, and now Team Liquid ID, they will pick up the Herald and the Cho roam?
Yeah, for sure, but well, I think there's a small chance for it going into the SP lane, but really picking up a hero that's known for Yaoi?
Yeah, he's gonna be the apprentice.
That's a lot of burden, man. That's a huge shoes to fill for Willy, the debutant in this game. And now Coach Strateg. What's the answer here? They haven't picked up a jungler yet. Against a Fanny, against a Chal, a whole lot of CC. I feel like in like season 10 or something, they would pick a Martis, but I don't think it's really viable anymore in this kind of situation.
X-Borg again, maybe? Could be an option. Maybe that's what Team Liquid is trying to do.
Lancelot!
Oh, wow!
Here we go!
Annabelle!
The Lancelot that Rex kicked them to the ground in the last playoff. I know that for sure. Yeah, Annabelle. A lot of showboat, I guess, in that Lancelot. When you're already like up like 8k gold lead. Let's see though, against a Fanny, against this kind of composition.
Against a Cho. Yeah, and against a Hylas, a targeted point and click stun. It's gonna be dangerous for the Lancelot to come in and try and find the targets, especially because the backline is a Sushin that's kind of tanky, kind of maneuverable, and it's a Harith with built-in sustain as well. I think the Lancelot is gonna find it quite difficult as Aran comes in with the Vengeance here, a different look compared to the revitalized Hylas strategy.
Also take a look at the late game potential from EVOS. It's not and the 1.5 difference. It's Harith is Fanny. It's in early game composition from TLID. They're gonna try their luck. How to close this match? Is it gonna be the Cavalry, Team Liquid Indonesia, or is it gonna be the White Tigers and EVOS a glory? Into the land of dawn we go!
Back again in game number 2 this time around. It will be very, very spicy. That Fanny faring up against the Lancelot. How do you envision this matchup to be, Arashi?
I think the Lancelot will have a bit of advantage when it comes to clear. The Fanny though, man, the fact that it's on Fabian here makes things a bit more interesting. There's not a way to set up though, as you can see here in the mid lane. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, Clocken, we've lifted up. Oh, he flickers away. Dreams, the next one on the mid. He flickers and shatters the earth. But oh my goodness, Yehaskiel will get the first blood with that fluttering grace, or rather that lantern flare.
Sometimes you just gotta stay away from the ballsy play, man. You just gotta flicker out, not in, and try to make an outplay. But this is the matchup that we've seen before in game number 1. Brands now on the Moskov. Meanwhile, Aaron Chiki on the Herod. Can somehow Aaron Chiki wins out once again on the 1v1?
Out of turntables in that gold lane. But Dreams, he tries to make those outplays, man. That's just the way he is. Looking at the emblem by IndyHome by Telkomsel, all the tenacities on the side of Evos, they are here for a brawl. They know that against a Sushin, against a Hylas, Team Liquid will be able to rope them into such a fight. But look at Annabelle.
Puncture and Witty, able to dodge the earth shatter. And here comes Fabian, just rolling and twisting around. But no casualties taken down the mid lane.
I am a no Fanny player, but that was pretty smooth. Like the cables looks kind of effortless in a way. There's no downtime. There's no like delay on the the turns. So that's a good sign, I guess, for Fabian.
And the mid lane combo here is really, really good. I mean, the Cho has so much brawling potential, sustainability, mobility, but more importantly, wave clear as well. Because the Sushin kind of struggles, but look at Fabian beating out the Spear of Misery, potentially going for a re-engagement on the bottom side. Aran.
Here they go with the Lantern Flare. Yaskiel unable to get the stacks towards Glocken, but he does pick up Fluffy in that process, really just zoning around with this Cho, trying to open up the map and scout for potential EVOS Glory players.
Look at Willie just opening the map, and again, he can help out with the wave clear because the Sushin sometimes struggles to clear the waves really, really fast. Look at this move though, immediately onto the turtle. They didn't even clear the mid lane, they're just going straight for it.
So much potential of zoning and tools that they given in the hands of Team Liquid ID. They're able to get a free turtle, uncontested.
Where's the last time you've seen this? A Fanny, you know, the first one to pull the trigger on a turtle and actually gaining it or like retrying it without any contest whatsoever. I guess against an Lancelot, it's possible to do. Meanwhile, Weedy.
Oh, looking very scary there. Dreams pops the shatter, but doesn't really get it. And now Annabelle with the puncture. Oh, the kick is perfect! And Annabelle evaporates in the hands of the rookies by Team Liquid ID. And they're able to get such a surprising play.
I told you, man, synergy ain't a problem. That was, you know, he knows what Fabian wants and just served it, man. The dimes from Weedy.
There's definitely clear communications behind that play. Look at the top side though, Iron Shaky. Oh no!
Oh no! He's able to synchro vision inside, and the Zaman Force is there to back up the players of Team Liquid ID. Dreams will just get taken down with the tornado and the cutthroat. Not enough just to kill Brandt, but there it goes, Iron Shaky. And they get everything as EVOS Glory. They lose everything as well.
A perfect start for a Fanny Calm. You have 4 kills in 4 minutes, pretty much 1 kill per minute. My goodness, they're going for the win. Just install GoPay and use the redeem code GoPay FTW.
As Dreams and Weedy, once again, just attempting to go for a big play with the Dragon though, so early on.
The kick kind of misses, but Annabelle now it's his time to jump in the backline. Fabian just pinning around, spinning unstoppable. And here comes Fabian again. The cutthroat is there, so good towards Dreams. It's not going to be a dream, it is a nightmare.
See what I mean, Rashi? There's really no error on the cables. Usually when we see MPL ID Fannies, like you can see like 1 or 2 cables being executed not properly by Fabian. We haven't seen it at all.
It's just so difficult, man. He has so much space here off the back of Witty and Aran, and even the Haskill. I mean, early in the top side, it's so unfortunate for EVOs that they went for a play, but everything just seems to go wrong right there. Spear of Destruction does not land. It does expose that Team Liquid is on the turtle, so EVOs will try and rotate, try and find something. But look at the pressure, man. The mobility advantage of the Fanny and Cho is a lot.
Oh my god!
Oh, what?
Stop it!
There you go!
The assassin assassinates Glocken, and this time around Fluffy. Not so Fluffy, the grab will be able to hold on to Witty, but he will get out. The Lantern Flare is there. The stack is enough to pick him up, and there goes Jit Kundo, but not yet enough to kill and take down Fluffy. But where did Vavian come from? He's able to gap this game, and the Fanny wreaks havoc for Team Liquid ID.
Go in, get a kill, and bye-bye. He might get another one here. Oh my goodness gracious, Fabian. If you get that, this MPL ID arena will go like, will be brought down the roofs.
Oh, run. Spear of Destruction not enough, and he will be able to just run away. My goodness me, Arashi. What happened?
What happened? Fabian
happened!
Fabian happened, man. It's coming along left and right, and this composition that Team Liquid has drafted, it is just ruthless. They have all the sustainability and the front line to even go for such a dive earlier. You saw that dive was unorchestrated, kind of messy, and even then they were almost able to take down Fluffy, a glue.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just unable to take out the players of Team Liquid ID. They're so fast, so quick, and they have so much zoning tools as well. And to take a look at Yaskill with Lantern Flare, always trying to pick up the players of EVOS Glory. The 7-0 lead will just be hemorrhaging towards the players of EVOS. Glory, this is going to be very scary though. Dreams jumps in, the onwards misses, and Winnie looking for a kick, but he misses it himself. Now Yaskill with the Lantern player still able to lock Dreams in place, but Fluffy will be able to get Winnie. Though Brands in the backline trying to dish out the damage, not enough though. Brands still alive, and in the backline Yaskill having to deal with Fluffy. Fluffy flickers out, and a run stuck in the middle of the fight. He will be okay. And Iran will disengage as the players of EVOS, they lose one.
Interesting decision making from Fabian. He was there for a solid 15 seconds and never thought of just going in team fight. When you have a fan, you can pretty much catch to any team fight whatsoever from the mid lane to bot lane, and he didn't go for it. That was interesting to say the least.
It's a great show of discipline as well. He might have thought that with Weedy missing the engage with the Way of the Dragon, it's a bit too difficult to kind of force it. Now though, he's going for this purple buff, and he will be around for the big fight, but look at this.
Dreams having to catch a run in that process. Weedy looking for a kick, and it connects towards Fluffy. Fluffy able to pop the grab, but the back line! Fabian again and again with his cables and his swords takes down EVOS Glory, but Annabelle now having to escape, and Aaron Chicky gets out unscathed, but in the meantime, the turnaround happens. And Fabian, alongside Yaskill and Iran, has to be taken down. 3-4-2.
Finally a breath of fresh air, especially Fabian goes down. That is a shutdown for EVOS. And now the gold lead. Only about 1.7k gold lead going to the first load. So it is pretty much surprisingly everyone's game. And Annabelle wants to blitz this.
They want to contest this. The kick connects towards Dreams, and Dreams is down. The Lord so low, but Annabelle thankfully gets the kill. Now Brands having to run away. He jumps forward, flashes forward, and Fabian will take him down. Brands not able to live to his namesake. As EVOS Glory, they get the Lord, but they lose Brands.
Ooh, this is a situation that you don't want to be when you're playing this kind of composition, Arashi. But that is a War X on a Fanny.
It's a War X on the Fanny, so he's playing a bit more brawl heavy as Fluffy comes back in with the Radiant Armor as well. A great mix of damage coming in, and Annabelle makes a play for your Haskill like he did in the previous Lord fight. But as long as Team Liquid stays together, they have the big advantage here. With the Ice Queens one completed for your Haskill as well, if they move as a unit, right, 5-man Death Ball, there's no way for EVOS to really find ways to capitalize the same way they did in the previous fight.
He knows. He smells something stinky there. Brands and also will try to make a play, especially with the two flickers that they have. Good recognition, meanwhile though, Fabian.
So scary with the steel cables. Fluffy unable to be taken down, but Fabian still dances with the cables and the swords. And the very much mobile hero in the hands of that Fanny.
In the midst of things though, that's gonna be a turret falling for Team Liquid ID here, taken by Brands in the middle of that fight. So they bought a lot of time by just making sure that they're gonna be forcing members of Team Liquid to kind of sit around in the mid lane. Around now tries to open the map, but now you can see that Nightmare Spawn becomes a big problem. It scouts, it pokes and harasses, and for EVOS, that's what they have to try and do here, try and delay the initial fight. Because for Team Liquid, it's very, all in whenever they engage. They can't really half engage into a fight.
And now Weedy doesn't have that push that he had before, because the damage from EVOS Glory is definitely enough to kind of burst him down. And so that is why so far the tension and the tempo of TLID has been kind of dying down in the last 2 minutes. Weedy hasn't been able to make a play just yet, and Iran will be the frontliner for TLID. The horse is leading the charge. Very poetic there. Not really. Yeah, 1k gold lead still for TLID. This is also why Fanny is not really a hero that you want to pick in a Game 7, because once you make a mistake, Arashi, it is so hard to recover. And so far, TLID has only made one mistake when Fabian got taken down, and look where they at right now. That was 1k gold swing or so in that instance.
But look at the adjustment from Team Liquid. They're not going for a lot of these big brawls anymore. They're just sitting up together in case a fight does happen, and they sent Fabian to the bottom side. Look at the concealed play though. They smell Dreams and Brands.
Concealed play, and Dreams able to kite back and peel for his carry, but Brands, he is gone, eliminated. As Fabian again just dancing around with the cables, and now Fluffy having to tank the damage given. And TLID, they will try to disengage, charge back, retreat. As Dreams and Brands no longer able to stand tall.
The scenes when you pick Kazask, man, you can't really catch up. Once you're positioning your Nightmaric spawn on a certain target, on a certain area, you can't really catch up unless you have a Ice Queen wand, but they're not gonna build it, as Witty will just scout the area for Fabian to take this Lord freely. TLID up 10 kills and 2.5k gold lead.
Great calls from Team Liquid, man. Taking out the gold lane and the roam right before the Lord, and even then, making sure that the Cho stays in the front on the off chance that the Lancelot, that Annabelle, wants to make a play. Now with the Lord at their backs, they are the ones that can kind of decide where to go for a fight, and you have to keep your eyes open on Witty. At this point, with all the waves pushing in their favor, the Cho has to be the one to make the play happen. If you look at the item build though, that's an antique cuirass built up by Fabian. So he's fully geared up for the 1v1 type of situation here against Annabelle.
For sure, especially when Annabelle is usually the one that's gonna take care of the far lane on its own, because Brand's a bit too dangerous there if you wanna stay alone and try to clear the lane. Meanwhile, the Lord's about to crash.
And this Fanny also kind of has the ability to activate the side lanes, means that he also has that extra survivability with the antique cuirass. A bit much more tanky and able to just deflect the damages coming in towards Fabian. So of course that side lane pressure will always be existent in the hands of that Fanny.
Ooh, three-wave push, but look at Annabelle.
Oh, almost assassinated the ass kill, but Annabelle! Oh, thankfully though, Fabian does not want to dive any further into the base. And they crack the bottom turret wide open, the Lord up top, taken down. Annabelle, his life flashed before his eyes.
He got that salad fingers, man. That long fingers that can do a lot of things. Yeah, Fabian so far 8-1-2. Not a half decent debut, I gotta say, on his assassins. The hype is real and okay. Look at
See what I mean? He's just having fun.
bro.
He's having fun with the cables.
He is showboating,
Bobbing
man.
and weaving.
I thought Annabelle was gonna showboat on the last slot, but no, Fabian. He's just doing that for the sake of doing it.
A great creative way to showboat. We've seen several this season, but that might be the most flashy one, I would say, on the Fanny. We haven't seen a Fanny reach the land of Dawn too often in this season, and you're seeing why. 8-1, split push threat, and still having teamfight presence here. It's definitely a tough situation for Evos to try and deal with. They do have the onward Earthshatter combo, but that's the only thing they can use to try and stop this Fanny. And if you think that the Fanny is a first pick for Team Liquid, Evos really thought that they can really deal with this purely using the Moskov.
Yeah, a bit too underestimative towards Fabian, and it's it's not really a bad thing to do either. He's coming in from MPL Indonesia, and a lot of dubs usually centered around these players that came from the lower league, going to MPL, the pressure, the burden that you have to kind of like take when you're playing on the highest level in MPL Indonesia. The social media hates. It is a normalcy by now in MPL Indonesia. And now,
Sure is.
it's another Lord take for these two teams. Let's see what's gonna happen. Aaron Shiki will try to burst this down to half HP.
Yeah, the Lord. Half HP already, and Team Liquid ID eyeing on that Lord. But the skill with the Lantern Flare just again zoning out the players of EVOS. Glory dissuading them, and a run opens up the glorious pathway. There comes Fabian swinging in, runs under pressure, parallel towards him, and now Fluffy having to pop the immortality, looking for a defensive play. Annabelle just pops his puncture and goes away. But meanwhile, Fluffy having to bite the bullet for EVOS Glory. They lose their frontliner, and this Lord wide open.
Look at the immediate response right here. Fanny going to the top side, pushing the wave out. It's going to crash with an advantage for Team Liquid. It will start pushing in favor of their side, I believe. So now with that in mind, Evos have to try and make a quick reaction here for the Lord, because otherwise, Team Liquid, look at the decisiveness.
Yep. It's gonna be a blitz from Aaron Shik and also Fabian, but I just wanna shed a light more towards that skirmish earlier, man, because I don't think that was an MDL level call in Indonesia, you know? Because you have a Fanny that's waiting on the far side to kind of pick off some of the far laner from EVOS. Meanwhile, the Lord is just a pure bait for them. Those calls, I don't think it happens in MDL, man, and they're showing in MPL.
If you can take the Lord and play around it, that's great. If you can use the Lord to get other advantages, that's even more high level. And Team Liquid is showing that they in fact do have it. And look at the wave management. 3-wave push once again.
Yeah, EVOS now under pressure. The final execution cancelled. And Fluffy able to get out. No, he won't be able to. Aaron Shiki gets the kill. It's Annabelle who lives to tell the tale. And he comes back to his teammates, looking to help and aid and assist in this team fight, which obviously is won by Team Liquid ID. They're looking for that engagement. The Crimson Beacon pop, giving an extra shield. And Yaskiel with the task of zoning out the players with EVOS Glory. EVOS, they can't deal with the damages coming in from Team Liquid ID.
Only one inhibitor turret left for EVOS Glory. This is something that they may not foreseen before they played this game. They thought it's gonna be an easy matchup against this MTL level players, but it turns out it's not gonna be the case. And Aran,
the glorious pathway. Fabian looking to swing back, and the kick connects to Dreams. Immortality popped in. Phantom execution by Annabelle went so low. Yaskiel gets Annabelle, and Fluffy having to pop the split and now run away from the atrocities of Team Liquid ID. Annabelle tested his limits. And Team Liquid is his limit.
It just was not enough. Team Liquid with the pushback, the kite back away immediately from danger. They use the glorious pathway to bait out several responses from EVOS, and once that's done, they know that they have what it takes to just back away. And Annabelle, desperate to try and do something for his team, to create an opening in the midst of the darkness, he just gets punished completely.
man, like, I see a lot of Fanny players in MPL Indonesia, and most of them just use Fanny in a way that, oh no,
he's playing again.
They want to play like go in, 2 cables, ultimate, then first kill and go out. That's usually the format for MPL ID Fannies, but this time around, I can see what they're he's picking the War-X, man. He's there to stay. He knows the limits of Fanny. He knows how to manage his cables to be able to use his energy efficiently. So that's why a lot of times in this kind of situation, he was able to stay in team fight longer than a lot of Fanny in Indonesia would.
Looking at the items, by the way, it's a 4K gold lead for Team Liquid, but both teams are approaching their final items. Annabelle picking up the Malefic Roar as his final item right here, on top of a BOD, an Endless Battle, and a Hunter Strike, and the War-X too. Damage is available for both teams. It all comes down to execution. And with Team Liquid already securing 2 base turrets with their early game, mid-game efforts, they're gonna have a lot of better time doing so as Brands tries to set up for something right here. But look at Aran immediately zoning Fluffy out.
Yeah, the zoning potential is there, and Fabian looking for an assassination again, but pops the immortality of Fluffy. He's back online. No, he won't be for that long. Now in the backline, Dreams having to pop his Primal Wrath, run away. Phantom execution from Annabelle, not able to catch someone. The spear is there. Will Brands jump now? It's the time. But Yaskiel with the Lantern Flare, just again zoning. Brands so low, and Yaskiel gets Brands. The spear is so dull, and the future so miserable for Brands and EVOS.
He drops a whole robot onto his face. Brands didn't really get the knockup on towards the perfect target, but he knows how to use that lantern perfectly. And now TLID has the green light to blitz this one as Annabelle is shown on the map. Rush to this game. Oh man, Fabian, everyone. Like, I feel like a lot of people from EVOS are kind of tunnel vision and threat from Fabian, but they realize that Aaron Chicky is a problem. Aaron is a problem. Everyone is a problem.
It's crazy, man. The shot call from Team Liquid is unreal right now. I would love to hear the communications to see who's actually making all these calls, because it's coming out so neatly, and even how they actually play out the fights. You saw in that fight Annabelle trying to flank around, trying to find an angle of entry, but Witty was just on him the whole time, just zoning him out, preventing him from going in until it's way, way too late. Now with the Lord, Team Liquid ID, can they finally close out this game against the DPS coming in from EVOS, against all the defensive tools they have? It's a dire do moment, man.
Yeah, that's a concern, right? Because it has been 21 minutes, but Team Liquid ID still can't close out the game. This might be it. This might be the moment where they close it out. The glorious pathway is there, and Aaron Chicky gets the turret, and there goes Fluffy up in the airs, and Annabelle looking for a duel himself, but he's unable to access that backline. Where is Fabian? No energy with the cables now, and look at EVO's glory they hold. This is the concern, Arashi. This is the biggest concern. Will Team Liquid ID be able to close it out?
Without a big engage tool for Team Liquid to start off a fight, only relying on the throw for pickoff, it's so difficult. No real way to go for pickoffs or engages. All they're relying on is being able to back away and shut down EVOs when EVOs goes for a fight. They have to wait for even stronger, even more improved Lords before they can even crack the base open. EVOs playing this desperately, man. They are not willing to go down to the cavalry.
They're not willing to go out from their home base here. Just gonna stick around my crystal because Fabian is there. A lot of threats coming in from TLID, and Iran actually bought that winter crown just for safety. The direst of moments, he needs that.
He's trying to make sure that he has something to bait out some spells from EVOs. You look at the late game, it's Brands, right? The king of the marksman back then on the Moskov. It's Dreams on an Edith with a Starlium. That's insane DPS output. And of course, Clockun being on the Zask with the damage output and with the survivability of the Double D, the Dominator's Descent. There's so many ways for EVOs to defend this. Team Liquid, I wonder if they're gonna go for a Lord, or are they gonna try and maybe opt for something different, right? They have the tools available. If they want to try and attempt something of a split push, that is something they can still very much do.
I feel like they're just waiting for an overextension from EVOS. Otherwise, they're just gonna wait for the Lord.
Now the question is that Fabian can't keep on sniping and assassinating the players of EVOS Glory. They're becoming more tanky. Fluffy is tanky. Clockman can pop the DD when the steel cables come, coming into the base, or that clash, and Dreams as well. With the Primal Wrath form, is able to just be much more of a threat towards Team Liquid ID now. Then you start being concerned for Team Liquid ID.
All right, man. With all three base turrets down, Team Liquid will definitely have the setup advantage. How will they play this out, though? You can see that EVOs, in their attempt to be safer, they're allowing the minions to go all the way into their base right there. That could be something that can be exploited as Team Liquid starts up the Lord. But no, they're just waiting. I think they want to try and find a huge moment first. Instead of going for a Lord that's guaranteed, they want to bait EVOs into a fight, get some of the death timers rolling. At 24 minutes, this should come down to about 50 seconds out of the line of dawn if you get taken out.
Or maybe do what Dreams cannot do in the first game, take on the Moskov on the far side, because so far Brands is not showing himself. But opening up, Fluffy pulls the trigger.
Here comes the fight. Fluffy jumping in with a split, and Yaskill will pop him back to the pit. But here comes your Chatter. The Spear as well connecting, and Dreams so low, stunned down, and Witty will catch him with Fabian there, looking for the assassination and the killing spree. Aaron Chicky though so low, popping the immortality. Will he be able to get out the Winter Crown swap? So quick, so agile, and Fluffy next to the chopping block, able to pop the immortality as well. Just blows out to pieces by Aaron Shiki. 1 minute death timers. Is it going to be enough for Team Liquid ID to push their agenda to the crystal?
I know Team Liquid were going to go for a fight and try and find more plays when there's still two members out of the map for 40 seconds, but they still go for the Lord right here. Annabelle trying to make the play to win the game.
Annabelle, so scary. He's puncturing away, but the immortality is there. Phantom Execution no longer ready. Thorn Rose not enough. Annabelle pulling the trigger alone, and this time it won't shoot. The spear is there, and the teleport yet to be pressed as Aran looking to tag the Lord, and Kalokun also waiting by the wings. Will this be the end for EVOS Glory? DD popped up by the Zask in the hands of Kalokun. Aran looking to just tank it out. Fabian cabling around. Brands unable to just get the kill, but there goes down. Aran having to tank that, and Brands now steps forward. Yes, Gil so low. Witty jumps with the kick. Brands still able to flip the coin and come out as Mr. Fantastic. No, he won't. But there goes Clockhood. And the Fabian with the cable. Will he be able to catch Brands? No, he won't be able to. And Team Liquid ID, still they falter. EVOS Glory pulled it into the line.
a whole lot of sacrifice for that single Lord. And I feel like it's going to be no problem for EVOS to take care of this one, especially when they have Brans. But that was the Lantern. I feel like if he didn't pull that one, or maybe just this position Brans, really would have been able to kick Brans and save the last kill. A game of inches, Harashi.
A lack of synergy in the last fatal moment. Despite getting the Lord, now they're the ones stuck with an uneven death timer. EVOS were the ones with 3 members down. One at 40 seconds, one at 16 seconds. There were moments where Team Liquid can try and get something, but now they're going to be forced to give up the mid turret. And it's back to the slow grind, and they're still waiting for Aran to respawn.
Oh my goodness. Tier 2 turrets up in the menu. Fabian again just bobbing and weaving, creating that fake pressure, trying to dissuade the players of EVOS Glory to further extend their reach towards that base. Still too close to call it a comeback, but EVOS Glory, they're up in the hills now.
We said it earlier, it's a early game composition that somehow still holds on until minute number 27 for TLID. But right now, the only advantage that TLID has is the map. They have 3 or 4 turrets still intact, still healthy, so they have to use the advantage to their favor somehow, some way, because if you're just gonna go 5v5, it's not looking very good against Brans.
With that damage output, it definitely is a bit too difficult. You saw that in the fight though. Yehescu is doing a great job making sure that Brans can't really walk forward. It's a Flicker Moskov with no Purify, so he is just so susceptible to getting stunned up, to getting tossed around by the Will of the Dragon, by the Lantern Flare as well. So Team Liquid, they definitely have more control, but right there, the call to go for the Lord and risk it even though they are low, to not even recall, by the way, to get back to full HP, I think really costed them. That allowed EVOS that small window of opportunity, and now they are the ones 1,006, 1.7k gold ahead, and there's no death timers, there's no real advantage here that Team Liquid can kind of use. In 20 seconds, it's back to the waiting game, where technically I think it comes down to Fabian and Brans, right? Can they make the moments happen? Can they find something? Something of a split push, something to control the map in favor of their team.
And you would be forgiven for thinking that this is a one-sided game when you take a look at the scoreboard, 22-7. But in the Land of Dawn, it isn't really a one-sided game. I mean, sure, for the first 10 minutes it was, but EVOS Glory now, even with their soldiers and their tigers falling apart, they're still able to at least bite back into the backs of Team Liquid ID.
The fact that right now TLID doesn't have that traditional marksman that has the Hash Claws, has that lot of lifesteal on their hands. Aaron Shiki is the only real DPS that they have, and taking this Lord is gonna be a tough test, even though he's just alone there. He has to somehow maybe build a concentrated energy, but he doesn't have that. Let's see though, what's gonna be the gameplay here from TLID?
He's dancing for the Lord once more. Fluffy looking for a chance to try and get in, make a play happen. They don't see Fabian. Now they spot Aran though, but it's a high loss, right? Way too tanky, way too strong. And if you're looking at the items though, this is a high loss without a Thunderbelt. It's a full tank high loss with a Vengeance. So he won't have the benefit of stacking up that hybrid defense.
Yeah, and Brand's just in the base, clearing out the waves. He knows he can join the fight with the Spear of Destruction contingent to how he will hit it.
No.
And there comes Fluffy in the back line, popping the split, having to run away. The kick is there, connecting towards him. The grab towards Witty is there. Dreams with the good knock up, but Annabelle gets Arrow Chicky, and now they lose their main damage dealer. However, Yaskill wants to fight back with the Lantern Flare, flickers forward. Annabelle having that immortality, and now Fabian will be able to get the snipe. He won't, he's stuck in the back line, and Dreams just tanking for his team. EVOS Glory again. They force the issue, and they're able to prolong their lives in this game.
60 seconds without Aaron Shiki. This is the window for EVOS Legends to capitalize on. But they don't have the map. They have to be careful of the far lane also, because you also have Fabian on the other side.
You're finally seeing adjustments from Fabian as well. He's done with playing the sustainable style.
Fabian! Again, an orchestra of cheers created by one man with his cables and his swords, unable to assassinate Brans.
He went for the BOD there, immediately had his sights onto Brans. But look at this, Fluffy trying to be an annoyance, but Aran will have his number.
They grab towards Yaskiel, Crimson, Beacon
Uh-oh,
Will be
Fabian,
popped up.
Fabian.
Fabian, looking for the 1v1. Is stopped! Rats catches the assassinated, and now the Lord taken down by Annabelle. Team Liquid ID, they have to run for the hills as EVO's Glory. The White Tigers, their claws unearthed and their fangs biting back the cavalry.
Branson, it ain't over till it's over. A simple mistake getting pinned to the wall by Fabian. Most possibly the only mistake he made in this game. And it cost him so much. This might be the ending of the game number 2. It's gonna be hard for them to defend from this one. It's a Fanny, it's a Chow, the wave clear. I don't think it's enough.
With the Sushin being a DPS source, not really a burst mage source, the clear is going to be so difficult. And look at EVO's already prepping the waves. With the empowered waves already pushing towards their side instead, it's going to be a bit difficult, but several turrets are definitely going to fall. And look at the top side, man. That's the one that EVOs are eyeing. They want that base turret, man.
EVO's Glory, their fangs now showing. The Lord crashes into the top side turret, but this time around, Dreams looking for the knockup. Aaron Chicky unable to be stuck, in the Zaman forces out. Winnie taken down to such low HP. Aaron Chicky, he's burning down. The Winnicron is there, and now the Glorious Pathway unable to give them way towards the backline of Team Liquid ID. They hold, but not for longer. As the crystal falls, EVO's Glory, they roar.
How the hell did that happen? The composure, the patience this team has. Trust in teammates. They know what they excel at and capitalize on it. EVO's Glory equalizes the match. After the atrocious early game, courtesy of Fabian, they somehow bounce back and toss the cavalry to the ground.
You can say whatever you want about EVOs, but never say that they can't hold their own in the late game. They were once known to be one of the best late game teams in a long, long time, and now you're seeing flashbacks to that era. Even with the disadvantage, with the base turrets down. What a solid performance by EVOs.
They're no strangers to this scenario. They have been finding themselves in the same position back in that MPL ID Season 13 playoffs against GeekFam. And look what they did. They turned the tides around. They waited for their moment to shine. And now they pounce Team Liquid ID. That is a tilting loss to experience.
Once hand, what is it gonna be?
Well, unlike on the desk right here, synergy is something that they required quite critically here for both teams. You know, Shepard was never my friend, but looking at this situation, the Moscow was never the friend of EVOs either, banning it away. What could they possibly want here that is more valuable than the Moscow that was getting them so much advantage? They go back to the Hayabusa.
Wow, that win rate, was it like 26% on Hayabusa? Is that, did I read that wrong? Because in ranked games, this is a hero that you usually want to first pick or even ban a lot of times. It's kind of surprising to see that you have this low of a win rate in the pro scene. Meanwhile, though, you can look at the screen right now for what happened in game number 2, particularly in the draft. It's going to be that Zask and also Edith. Seems like Zask didn't miss out on one game at all so far in day number 4 of MPL, man. Always first pick for any team out there.
Well, they go for the Zask, but now they also leave open the Sushin. And we've seen how that kind of played out earlier, but EVOs, they want that Aurora, man. They're trying to keep it chill. And on top of being chill, they want to keep it fast with the Hylas as well.
Oh, the ninja on the horse meta.
Haya loss.
What?
Haya loss.
Haya loss?
Hayabusa Haya loss.
Oh.
It just sounds like Hayabusa lost, dude.
Man,
I don't know if that's...
I'm starting to realize that I'm kind of slow, man. Well, yeah.
Yes. Well, it's because Aurora's in the game, bro.
Yeah.
They're slowing everyone with the hailstorm.
For sure, but this draft, this first phase is pretty much the exact same of the first game of EVO's Glory as much as I remember. But St. Lucas, it is going to be carry very early in this game. You probably, you'd expect an export before in the first game, but this time around, they still want to hide that flexibility and eat it possibly.
They're going for a carry against a Hayabusa and against an Aurora as well. The zoning potential for Evos is quite massive here. There's a chance that Iron Shiki, by all means, could be just this kind of player that performs well on the marksman, but not so well on a mage type hero. That could be why there's an adjustment right here, and they ban away the Herald immediately to ensure that it won't be taken advantage of by Evos.
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the carry against the Hayabusa, Aurora, and Hylos because you have to step forward and carry's range is very limited. So you kind of have to brawl it out in front of the faces, and of course Evos, they have, again, like what Arashi said, the zoning potential, the control with the Frigid Glacier, with the Glorious Pathway, and then the Hayabusa can just jump back towards the carry. So at least if the carry really wants to be of a menace, be an effective tool to deal the damage, they need maybe an extra peeler. I mean, sure, the Aedith can do that, but the Aedith, again, you would expect the Aedith to also engage. So this carry is going to be very susceptible in most of the fights.
Spoken like a true marksman that can keep himself alive. But yeah, I do kind of agree with you, to be honest, because there's not much of a range from carry, as Saint DeLucas actually opted to go for a 2 gold lane ban here, limiting the option for Mr. Jabrans. No more Moskov too, so it's gonna be a new hero pulled off here in the last game of EVOS versus TLAD for Mr. Fantastic.
I feel like I feel an alpha coming somehow, somewhere, man. I feel like it just fits so well with how both these teams have been playing in game number 1 and 2. Final Vandal is gonna be the glue from EVOS. They saw how effective it was at zoning the backline, not willing to deal with it themselves. All right, first pick for Team Liquid here. I'm guessing they jungle first? Oh, Minotaur first to protect the carry, provide the damage reduction, and kind of stop out the Hayabusa and the Hyla, so not a bad idea.
Once again, the win rate is looking abysmal, man. 17% on 6 matches, only 1 match secured out of 6 played for this cow. Not really the greatest of win rates, but St. Lucas definitely has a lot of trust for Willie to pull this one off.
To see, man, on the show he was doing great, but it doesn't seem like he's very flexible. And the thing is, with Team Liquid having a Minotaur and an Edith, they are severely lacking in the engage situation, and that is one of the reasons why they were struggling to end the game in game number 2. They couldn't engage well enough. Now with 2 short engages, Evo said, we are gonna try the Jawhead again with a Claude. What?
Interesting.
Jawhead and Claude.
What year is it?
It's like a Finn and a Skylar combo
2020,
here.
2019, 2021?
Maybe not quite that far back, maybe? I'm not quite sure about the exact year. Okay, jungle pick though, presumably here for Team Liquid. I think the Alpha fits right here, but maybe they have something else cooked up, right? They kind of go for the double true damage play here to try and deal with the Hylas with the Jawhead as well. But otherwise, I feel like an Assassin would make sense for Fabian with that performance on the Fanny.
I feel like there's no good option here for Coach St. DeLucas. Speaks on how well Coach Strateg drives this lineup.
Network, maybe.
And they're really taking a long time to process this one. And it's going to be Joy.
Joy, called it.
There you go.
Wow. This is a bit risky, I gotta say, against this much CCs from the other side of the floor. But you know, once again, beggars can be choosers, and Fabian is known for his assassins. So why not just put him on one of his favorite heroes to play?
All right, so the Joy. Great farming speed, great damage potential, and more importantly, AoE damage potential. But with all the crowd control, with all the mobility on the side of Evos, I feel like he's gonna struggle to find some of those picks. Maybe later on when they're grouped up together, that's where he'll start struggling. But maybe early on, it's about out-farming the Hayabusa, going for maybe a 1v1 or a turret dive.
Look at that early to mid-game potential, 3.6 to 7.2. The draft index really doesn't like Evo's glory in early game, but I gotta say, I have a different opinion. Annabelle has been playing very aggressive in this game, but let's see though, if he can keep this up and win it out for Evo's glory. Now, the decider, who's gonna get the first W of the season of these blue teams? Is it TLID, Team Liquid Indonesia versus Evo's glory?
Here we go. Down to the final and last wire between what was a very, very close back and forth game. We hope this final game won't be anticlimactic.
Let's wait and see for the whole roaming, the roamers activity right here, because both are just trying to get their junglers a bit more ahead when it comes to the clear, and they're going straight for the lethal. I feel like Team Liquid has more to say, especially without a shadow kill available, but look at the play coming in, taken by Fabian.
Oh, Witty, under pressure, won't be too worried about himself. Now the emblems by Indiho Marashi.
The firmness and the tenacity for both the Minotaur and the carry. It's all about survival, man, at this point. With the Swift taken by Aran to give a bit more damage when it comes to the Primal Wrath form. And they Inspire on Fabian to try and get more mobility and faster clear speed. This time, Evos are the ones that go for more damage, more utility in their emblem setup. We'll have to wait and see if that comes to bite them in the back.
And Dreams once again doing the thing that he does in the first game. Jungling for Annabelle meanwhile though.
Whoa! Flicker forward! Fabian! Decapitated by the assassin. Annabelle again, the first blood. As Aran brawls it out with Fluffy. But Fluffy will be A-okay. Down in the mid lane though. Another rambling happening for both teams.
Just not enough health bars to sustain you early to mid-game, especially when you have this early presence in Jawhead. Once you get ejected, you're pretty much ejected out of the Land of Dawn, man. Because even Dreams is taking a thrill. Meanwhile,
the lockdown towards Annabelle and no jungler for this. Turtle in the hands of Evos Glory. Free Turtle. Turtle for the players of Team Liquid, and that is through Fabian with the Retribution. They take everything and lose nothing.
An immediate strike back from Team Liquid, and just like that, the gold advantage approaching 1K. Despite having an Aurora, they're not really getting the plays to happen, and look at that play. Iron Shiki gets out of that ejector, moves forward actually. That's the carry, the aggressive carry style, but Evo's finally reached level 4. And when it comes down to a full-on team fight, you gotta keep your eyes on Clockern. On the Zaski was able to do a lot of damage. Now on the Aurora, is it gonna prioritize the damage or the crowd control? Because those are the two things you have to balance out when you're playing Aurora, right? Do you want to save it for the right target, or do you want to output as many spells as possible?
Oh, so scary with the ejector. Can always throw away Iron Shiki back into Brands, but do they have enough damage to take him down in this early stage of the game? But Fluffy pops the glorious pathway as an escape mechanism. Aran will taunt him back now though. Iron Shiki having to move backwards. The shadow kill not enough to take him down. It's the Minnow and Fury as well, committed by Witty to just peel off for his carry.
Jump scare. Iron Shiki falling down to the death, but yes, kill. He actually rotated from the mid lane meanwhile. This might be dangerous.
Glacier! And yes, Kiel frozen to death and taken down by the kunais of Annabelle. As Fabian assists the bot lane to shake off the pressure coming in from Dreams and Brands.
Did you just say kunai? It's a shuriken.
Kunai and shuriken.
Okay.
They're in one unison.
The basic attack, you mean?
Yeah.
It's kunai based?
Yeah, it is kunai based.
Great observation.
The first kill.
Well,
Okay.
10 seconds to go until the next neutral objective. Aran has the Thunderbelt, so Evos are looking for him.
Oh, unstoppable force. Annabelle, quad shadow towards Aran forward, but only a taunt as they get the zone towards the turtle. This is going to be the pariah for Evos Glory. Yes, Kiel popping the abilities to just weave off the players of Evos Glory. Starlium sight for Fabian ready, and this could be the power spike for the Joy.
Annabelle has to be careful after that falling down in the first neutral objective game. Fabian though already is stacking some of these electrifying bits. Fluffy with the glorious pathway.
Yeah, looking to just bully Aran in place. Ejector towards Witty, but of course that is not the target you want, so he's going low! Annabelle with the steal again. You thief in the night, and Fluffy will get out of the crime scene very, very quickly. Team Liquid ID snatched off from their clutches. Evos Glory, they get the turtle.
Daylight the robbery from Annabelle. He knows he's just waiting on that bush and just right away capitalize on the carelessness of TLID.
The carelessness, and they're forcing out these mistakes. Look at Fabian trying to equalize though, but that's Clockern. It has a second chance at life.
Ooh, he's just standing there like a statue as Fabian is pressuring him down, corralling with his teammates. No victims taken.
Not just yet. And that's because Evos has a lot more survivability in the early game. For Team Liquid, you gotta wait until the later stages where there's more HP pool available. so that they can kind of get that sustain advantage due to having the Minotaur. Looking at the player head-to-head with their new application GoPay, Fluffy and Aran, both active, both in the EXP lane. When it comes to the participation though, Aran is just a lot more willing to just go straight in and get the teamfight participation. Aran though, with the higher hero pool, hasn't really been explored, I believe, in this game, in this particular match. They've been giving him the same kind of heroes so far.
Aran, man, the first time he debuted in MPL Indonesia, he's known for his Takedo, Padang, those heroes that can sustain Uranus, Esmeralda, but right now, he's forced to adjust, and he's adjusting just fine currently in this game. 2-0-0 currently. No mistakes whatsoever. Has been committed. And now Annabelle in the top lane, though. He's looking to make something happen here against Fabian.
Well, he'll be backing away for now, but with 15 seconds to go. Team Liquid, if they want to go for a fight, they should try and find one right now. Otherwise, both junglers are level 10 technically, but look at that, Aran!
Oh, a chatter towards Aran, and now they jump in place. Fluffy stun backside, and the creature is enough with the hails by Kalakun, taking out Witty out of the fray. And now Aran with the glorious pathway. The shadow kill is not enough to take down Aran. Aran still able to run away for his life. Fluffy gets assassinated by Fabian. 1-for-1 trade. And I think it favors Team Liquid much more.
A messy endeavor right there, but all things considered, it's a roamer for the EXP, but without a front line, Team Liquid forced to back away immediately, goes for the trade on the bottom side. Fabian just trying to make sure he keeps up in the EXP, but Evos, they're getting a lot of these early game objectives. But now with the Lord coming up, it becomes a bit more difficult, right? Both teams will want to try and contest for that.
Ooh, oh, Dreams is being chunked down by the players of Team Liquid ID. He could be the target of operation, but no. Team Liquid ID, they don't want to be trigger happy to just push down and get the kills. They will get the turret though, so that is going to be a net win for Team Liquid.
Top lane though, some of the minions is pushing. Meanwhile though, Fabian is chasing Brans.
1v1, Brands having to pop the Blazing Duet. Fabian dropping low! Fabian gone! Deleted by Mr. Fantastic! And Evos Glory, they get one kill going for their Claude.
Got his ankle broken there, Mr. Jabran with a Blazing Duet. Now Fabian, not only having the best of games compared to the Fanny earlier, and Arashi, in-game equipment by Dunia Games. What's going on here?
Blowing one for the Zas means there's going to be poke damage, but look at that. Good by play by Aaron Shiki, turning it around.
Gone so quick by Aaron Shiki, just chunking him down, and I think that was an overextension coming in from Evos Glory.
Definitely was. See the Jawhead coming in, getting zoned by the Purify, and that's why it's so important to have that Purify tool in the late game, in those big team fights. With the Flaccid Oasis completed though for Witty, means that the team fight prowess for Team Liquid is gonna be even more augmented at this point. With 20 seconds to go, there is a level difference though. Annabelle is one level ahead from Fabian.
Right now, TLID. Oh my goodness, Aaron Shiki might be in trouble here. It's Shadow Kill, but still has a lot of healing around. 1v4.
Oh, Fabian is the lead. Brats with the electrifying beats, and Dreams does get around, but the domination descent by Yeskiel will not be enough. Witty jumping in with the stomp, and Manu and Fury with the flicker. But where's the follow-up? Not enough yet for Team Liquid ID to pull their trigger. Annabelle cancels the shadow kill as Fabian looking to push him back. Team Liquid ID, they eye the Lord.
I don't think they're gonna go for it though, as Annabelle is already ready in the vicinity and they have a lot of frontliner there. Or do they want to go for it? They're gonna blitz it.
Oh, it's going down so quick. Witty though in the backline looking to be taken down. He still heals, and now Dreams jumps in the backline. Annabelle gets Witty, but the Lord left unattended to as Fluffy just roams around the pit. And Fabian gets it with the retribution as Barat now pops the Blazing Duet, but it's not enough as the Zast becomes tanky, and now they have to flee away. Evos Glory, they lose Fluffy, they lose Dreams, they lose the Lord.
Bit of chaos in the Lord pit just now. I thought it was gonna go for Evos for sure, as Annabelle is already ready to use the retribution, and the zoning from Fluffy and Dreams were huge as well. Fabian were forced out of the Lord pit and somehow got back in the nick of time. Perfect retry for the debutants.
That's a great play by Witty as well to zone Annabelle out of the Lord pit for as long as possible. making it more of a scramble. Everyone from EVO's immediately corral around the mid lane, trying to make sure that the mid tower will be the last one at least to fall down. And look at the items. That's a Thunderbelt for the Jawhead. So Dreams gonna be a bit more tanky. It's gonna scale up better and has a lot more extra extra utility.
Dreams. Okay. Fabian doesn't want to go for that push. Now the siege.
Mid lane turret taken down. Team Liquid ID, so simple, yet so sweet for them. And Dreams, having to pop his unstoppable force, just runs around with smart missiles as well. Of course, you need that extra movement speed to either engage or disengage for Dreams.
We saw that. That's a great judgment for the side of Team Liquid ID. They go and make sure that they get the mid lane turret, and even though the Lord is left unattended, it was able to get a turret on its own. So trying to force EVOs to kind of react to their movement as Fabian picks up the Bloodwing. So more tankiness, more ways to kind of outplay. But look at EVOs. They might try and get an exchange right here. Trade it right back immediately on the other side. It might be more beneficial for Team Liquid because they're going to be on the way there anyways.
And EVO's definitely has the advantage on the far lane, I guess, because Brance is much more capable than any other members of TLID. I don't even think they have a solid far laner here at TLID, so they have to kind of prove themselves as 5 to be able to make something happen. Yeah, that is something EVOS could exploit in the late game.
I would argue that the Joy and the carry could be that far later, but again, so susceptible to just send your members there, and Fluffy gets taken down to half HP. The tank is not tanking for EVOS Glory.
Looking at the audience prediction though, it's still favoring towards EVOS Glory after what happened in game number 2, 65% to 35%. Seems like they really don't want to see EVOS Legends or EVOS Glory winning in this arena.
We'll have to wait and see if EVOS has a reaction though. They're kind of clear, trying to hold up, but with the Zas pick, it's making it very difficult for EVOS to even kind of find their footing when it comes to moving around the map. Making a play straight for the purple buff. They're going to try and deny from Annabelle.
Oh, the purple buff. It's taken away by Annabelle, it seems like. And now, oh, Dreams taken so low. And Fabian jumps forward, ejects him back to his team. Thankfully, Dreams survive. And Fabian having to step on his brakes.
Yeah, it's just, you want to kill me? Not today, bro. Like, denied. The block from Dreams, and now gotta be another Lord take from both of this team. It was favoring towards TLID in the neutral objective before. Fabian stealing the total from Annabelle now.
Oh, Brance
happens.
Brance blazing the web. Oh, the glorious pathway now popped by Fluffy, and Dreams gets taken down by Aran, and Annabelle will follow up the kill though. Aaron Shiki just dishing out the damage enough with the Wind of Nature. Tries to deflect the damages caused by Annabelle. Could Annabelle fish for a steal? He's too low to think about that even, and he will let this go. TLID, they get the Lord. EVOS relinquish every single chance.
A chance to prove themselves. The debuts of MPL Indonesia Season 14, yes, kill Aaron Chiki, Reed and Fabian taking the game out of EVOS Glory. A season lineup versus these rookies. They're definitely proving their worth. The hopes for TLID fans.
Trying their best to go for a decisive fight there, but EVOS just can't find it. They're getting poked down, they're getting forced to use this Jawhead. This is the problem here. They're forced to kind of show their cards so early on. Whereas for Team Liquid, it's about the waiting game. It's about being elusive, and now they get the first turret right here. With the amount of damage output that they have, there's a chance they can kind of go all the way and end the game if EVOS aren't careful. But we've seen them go for the defense before. 1v1 though.
1v1, Ninja versus... What is the Joy? Yeah, a quick creature. But of course, no one gets taken down. Glorious pathway to just ensure that EVOS does have that headspace to move around that top lane. As the siege towards the base having to be halted, but another wave of minions coming in and flying by. Aaron Shiki stepping forward so far away. Around pop the Primal Wrath for extra damage. Fabian now just trying to wreak some havoc. Fluffy gets deleted, and the double kill connects for Fabian, and the kills coming in for the Hayabusa, but the cancel connects towards Kalakun. Thankfully though, he has the passive to survive, and they will reset Team Liquid ID, 2 kills is merely than enough.
Fabian being frozen in place, but still getting the kills. Not doing anything, but still doing the work.
Oh, Witty with the Mignon Fury, and they will get Glocken. NFL jumps back, but it is not enough. And the Crystal now wide open for Team Liquid. EVOS Glory, will they hold? The Blazing Duet cancel, and the Crystal falls. EVOS Glory, their fangs, their claws, their furs stripped down. The cavalry charge, and they charge hard. They get the first win in MPL ID Season 14.
What a way to get your first W. A lot of questions too. Why is Skyhook demoted? Why is there so much change in the lineup? You have to be able to have a trust towards your team. But Team Liquid ID did it anyway, getting the W against EVOS on its full power. Wow.
Solid drafts, solid strategy around the map, and they've made improvements within the span of a single match. We talked about the lack of engage, the lack of versatility from Witty and how he was approaching those team fights. But right there he proves once and for all, you want engage, you want versatility, defensive and aggressive. It's time to go in, and go in he did for his team, for the victory for Team Liquid ID.
Oh man, Fabian meowing, or mewing. Meanwhile, EVOS Glory is meowing against the Cavalry. With the new roster foundation, TLID achieves their first victory over EVOS. A sweet revenge in the regular season after they lost in the playoffs last season. With a new lineup, with their newfound hope and power. This is the last moment just now. Beautiful knockup and flicker by Witty. Followed up by the Cavalries. And now we're gonna take it to the winner interview with Witty Clara Mongstar.